Rape culture. Hey! We're back with another episode of The Connection, where we're connecting the dots between hip-hop and mental health. I'm Shu.
I'm Hendo.
And we're going to roll right into our first topic, Change My Mind. We're today I think we're going to start off with talking about rape culture. You know, a lot of people are affected, and a lot of women, men too, which is crazy to say, but women are affected by rape, which is a crazy discussion. I think we wanted to start off with this. Hendo, you got anything you want to say?
First off, I just want to say that, like, if there's any female or male that has dealt with being sexually assaulted or raped, we're here for you as a radio show. We're here for you as people. We're here for you as confidants, and just an outlet for you to talk to. And I want all my female fans to know that this shit is not okay. Like,
yo, I literally just saved a chick the other day. Like, did you get my message?
Yeah.
The other
I got
night?
your text.
What was that? Like 2-3 in the morning or something? Like 4 in the morning. Yo, this chick reaches out to me. Thank God I was up, but she was on some like suicidal shit, and I kind of talked her out of it. You know what I mean? Like she's like, I really just want to end it right now. Like, nothing's going right. Like, my whole life's falling apart. Like, every time I take a step forward, I take like 10 steps back, and like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't want to live another day. And, I just related and talked to her about my personal experiences and, some of the things I went through without getting too deep on her, but, making it more about her. And I kind of talked her through it. And, at the end, she thanked me. And that felt great. You know what I mean? That's part of the reason we made this show because, well, that's the main reason we made this show. We wanted people to know, like Hendo said, this is an outlet and a platform where a lot of people can get up and just talk about their shit. Because let's face it, everybody goes through shit, but it's the stigma that holds people back from actually opening up and saying anything about it. I bet you, like, I don't know what the percentage is, but I bet you like 90% of people just don't speak up on their shit that they go through. You know what I mean?
Dude, I think more than 90% of cases of rape do not go, like, solved. Like, even if you take it to court, because of, like, the social norms that men have constructed for women, a lot of rape cases don't go anywhere, or they get
facts. Nah,
they get what's the word I'm looking for? They get looked at like the man is innocent. You feel me? Like,
right.
The jury doesn't really give a fuck about what.
Well, that's a whole other thing. Like, I feel like a lot of those subjects, like when that gets brought up, a lot of those issues get swept under the rug because I feel like there are a lot of, you know what it is? It's like when the one person fucks it up for everyone else. Like, all the women that have stepped up and said that they've been sexually assaulted or raped, and actually have fucked it up for everybody, because we don't know if we should believe these women now. And that's kind of fucked up.
I think that's,
you know what I mean?
I think that's pretty fucked too. I think my girl's got something to say, though.
I do have something to say. Out of 100% of rape cases that are actually reported, which 40%, 60% are not, 2% are falsified. So that leaves the other 98% that were completely true, and they might not ever be believed.
And they've been swept under the rug.
Yeah, because the 2% falsified claims.
That's a fucking...
You said 2%?
2%.
Fuck.
Bro. That small.
Damn.
2%.
That's 98% of people who cannot get justice now because 2% of people want.
And they were actually really raped.
Yeah.
Like, that's not cool at all.
That's men and women.
That's real traumatizing. Like, I can't even begin to imagine being in a woman's shoes and getting raped. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to all the women out there that have been through that. Whether you one day speak up on it, some of you women I know probably, as sad as it is to say, you're probably dealing with that inside your own head and dealing with it your own way, and you've never told anybody you've been raped. Shout out to you guys, because I know you guys have been through a lot. That's crazy.
But the thing is, out of the 100% of people, out of the 98% of people, there is 60, 68% that do not report it, and that doesn't make their claim any less true. It doesn't take away from what they're going through. It doesn't make what happened to them any better. It's wrong, and it will always be wrong.
It doesn't matter if that man was a celebrity or a big star. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if he's in stardom, if he's a nobody. You need to speak up. You know what I mean? Fuck the stigma. Fuck the stigma.
I think with what you guys just said, a lot of celebrities, people like Bill Cosby, and
Weinstein.
Who?
Harvey Weinstein.
Who's Harvey Weinstein?
You didn't hear about that case?
I have no idea who Harvey Weinstein.
I know that name.
Harvey Weinstein?
I know the name. Okay. Say it.
Harvey Weinstein's a director, and he was accused of sexually assaulting various women that he had worked with. And he said...
Is that the dude from Blacklisted?
I couldn't tell you exactly.
Why do I know that? Why is that name so familiar?
Because it made news. And there's women now who are now
stepping
up. Not that long ago. 2 months, 3 months maybe.
Okay.
And these women were being judged. They were like, oh, you're just saying this because other people are coming forward because they were raped, blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't make what happened to them any less real.
Right.
Because they still had to live with that. That's something that they're going to have to live with for the rest of their life.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And for them, people in mainstream media to say, oh, well, that didn't really happen to you, or, oh, you should have enjoyed it because he's rich, he gave you the job.
Should have enjoyed what? Being taken against your own will and fucking, like, you didn't... Like, people don't realize, like, sex is like it's a real intimate thing, and, like, you know, you have to, like, at least for me, I can speak for myself when I say this, you can't just have sex with a person unless you have, like, a mental connection with that person. Like, there's got to be some kind of level of, like, you got to have some kind of intellectual, you know what I mean, like, property there, or some kind of chemistry,
some
like,
type of spiritual... Some type of spiritual, emotional, physical connection.
You know what I mean? You can't just...
It could be completely lustful. If you and that person say yes, it doesn't matter if you have no connection to that person whatsoever. If you in the moment and that person in the moment are willing and are able to consent, that should be fine.
Right.
You don't have to have this undying connection with someone to have sex with them.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that you do, because there are plenty of people who enjoy promiscuity or to enjoy sex. Like, it's a very natural thing.
But you need that cue. You need something. You know what I mean?
I mean, personally, me, like, whether it's casual sex or whether it's me being in a relationship, I can't go into a party setting or, like, a casual setting and look for a girl to have sex with without that girl being some type of interesting. You know, like, I'm not just going to go into a party and be like, hey, you're hot, so do you want to fuck later? You know, like, I just can't.
Right. That's not cool, man.
And I think consent is a very, very fuzzy thing that people don't like to talk about when it comes to rape, because, like, consent means yes. That's what consent is. If a coherent woman or male comes up to you and says, I want to have sex with you, that is consent. I think to a certain degree, if you're both...
Right, you can't take that back. You've already said it.
I'm not saying you can totally take it back. You can totally take it back. If you don't want to have sex with me later in the night, then I'm not going to sit here and be mad.
But I'm saying you've already said it. So
No. Listen, that brings up the entire issue. If you're in a domestic relationship and you get raped by that person, it completely sweeps it under the rug because you at one point were willing to have sex with that person.
Well, I'm not talking about that. Listen, let's not get off top here. I am not saying that it's okay because that person agreed to have sex with me 20 minutes ago, that now I'm going to hold her against her own will and hold her down and rape her. Okay. That is not okay. That is not okay at all.
No.
I'm just saying, once you say that, and then you come back later, like, I'm saying for the people that do fuck it up for everybody.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I'm saying, like, you cannot come back and say, like, he raped me if he didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he had sex with you, you gave him consent.
Okay,
that's not rape. That is not rape.
Yeah. I think a lot of women...
Fuck you fake-ass bitches out there that do that shit. That is not cool.
I think a lot of women do mess it up for other women who do suffer from it, you know, because, like, I know...
Looking for a come-up or something crazy.
Yeah,
like, that's
some shit like that. Like,
publicity.
For one, you're fucking up another man's pockets or another person's pockets.
Their whole life.
Yeah, and... Secondly, you're completely taking away the power that women should have when it comes to this topic, because rape culture, no matter if it happens to men or women, it happens to women predominantly. You know, this is something that's been happening to women for not even hundreds of years, thousands of years. Women have been being raped and held against their will due to social norms.
Because physically men are stronger. I mean...
I think the statistics are like 90% of the cases are women and 10%
of course.
are men.
Yeah,
so
that
it's
makes
like 94
sense.
are women and 6% are men.
It's a very, very small percentage of men that are being sexually assaulted forcefully by women. And we're gonna touch on that. That is wrong. You feel me? Because like no man should be able to. No person should be made to feel weak by any other person, male nor
not
female.
at all. Not at all.
But the stigma with men is that like we're supposed to be macho. We're supposed to be
masculine.
We're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to. So like if a man were to be raped by a female, that means he was weak, and other men would probably ostracize him for being raped or celebrate him for being raped. Because like Lil Wayne he even told his one of his old label mates, Lil Twist, when they were like super young. Lil Wayne told Lil Twist like, "Yo, I was raped at 11 and I love it."
Wait, what? Oh shit! By his babysitter or something, right? Yeah,
Lil Wayne was 11 years old. His babysitter was like 13, 14.
I thought you were about to tell me some other crazy shit.
Nah.
You need to chill.
Oh, what you talking? Because he kissed Birdman?
Nah, I thought you were about to say something crazy, like something like that. But
nah,
I heard that.
The statistics with women and men are completely like unbalanced, bro.
For real.
Women get more than 70% of the world's women population get sexually assaulted. We're not just talking about the United States.
1 in 3 women. If I were to stand next to 2 other women, one of us is going to be sexually assaulted.
Yeah, even if it's not physical, like even verbal.
Sexual assault is real. Yeah,
sexual assault is probably.
A woman and tell her,
I want to know the percentage of verbal sexual assault.
So do I.
So high.
Because there's
no way to
I think I must see it every day.
Bro,
I probably see it every day in my life.
Catcalling, fucking blackmail within the workplace.
Yeah.
You know, flirting even to a certain degree could be considered.
You see so many people,
assault.
so many women, especially women, like we said, men are involved, but especially women, leaving their jobs. Mm-hmm. I don't think a dude would do this, but I've known plenty of women that have left their jobs because they felt uncomfortable working around certain people. You know what I mean?
Even I felt sexually
and they just kind of sweep it under the rug, and they don't want to tell anybody.
Exactly, because they feel like to a certain degree, like who's gonna do anything? Who's gonna stand up for me?
Right.
Because this world is economically and morally ran by men. How many women are in the House of Representatives right now? How many women are in Congress right now?
Exactly.
We've never had a woman president. You feel me?
Right.
Yet.
What do you think about this? I do have a question before I forget. That's the ADD kicking in, so I have to say it now.
It's okay, bro.
But what do you think about a dude? Do you think that? I don't think it can be justified this way, or have the issue cleared up. But what do you think about a dude that goes to jail and gets raped for raping a woman? What do you think about that?
I think on a street,
as soon as you get in there and they hear the reason why you're in there, that you raped someone,
they're gonna eat you alive.
You are so done.
I think to a street value, like that is morally justified, but to a spiritual value and to a criminal value, they're all in there for heinous fucking crimes.
Of course,
you feel me?
Of course.
I know
Two
niggas
wrongs don't make it right.
I know so many sets of gangs that are notorious for chopping up bodies. You feel me?
Yep.
And sending them to fucking like people's parents and shit.
Right.
You feel me? There are a lot of Hispanic gangs that do that. There's a lot of like black gangs that do that and shit.
Yep.
So how mad can we be when there's a rapist that comes into prison that rapes somebody, but we're a gang that chops up fucking bodies and sends them to parents?
I'm super on the fence about that because as someone who has been sexually assaulted, I despise the people who have done that to me because I have to live with that forever.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not wish that on them.
Would that make you feel better if you heard that they were raped in prison?
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
Just because it's so psychologically
because you going through it like traumatized you, and
I don't think anybody should have to go through that.
Nah, never.
I don't think so either. I know,
and that just makes it awkward because like sex is supposed to be a very big part of life. So like I can imagine like that probably fucks your sex life up for your damn near your whole life.
I became very promiscuous because I liked being in situations where I could control what was happening. So when I went to Germany, I slept with a bunch of different people, and I enjoyed that because I could say no at any time.
It made
I
you
could
feel
leave
in
at
control.
any time. Yeah, because
and you think that was because you think that was an action that derived from
definitely
what had happened.
It put back the control in my hands that I had taken away with me when I was 12.
Shit.
I think that's something that's like very, very powerful.
That's mind blowing.
I know a lot of young ladies who are that way. You know, I know a lot of young ladies who have been raped at 14, 15, 16. Then when they turn 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, they get promiscuous, quote unquote, or they start having multiple sexual partners.
Right.
Because that control makes them feel better about themselves. That control makes them feel good.
You just cleared that up Thank you for clearing that up, because like that helps me understand all of that.
You have to understand,
You know what I
bro,
mean?
that like a lot of women who are sexually promiscuous have been touched or sexually assaulted.
I feel like you either go one way or the next. Like you go either that way,
You can either completely
or
isolate
you can
yourself,
completely
or
just
Turned off from sex forever.
exactly. Like you just don't want to be touched. You don't.
I definitely
you can't
went
even
through
kiss
both
a
of those
dude. Like
phases.
You did?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Until I was 14, 15, I couldn't even be touched by my parents. I didn't want
Wow.
to be hugged. I didn't want to be looked at.
Right.
It really is psychologically like
Yeah.
Um,
Traumatizing. Yeah.
yeah, dude, because like not only is it sexually traumatizing, but it like my girlfriend said, it makes you rethink all of your mannerisms.
Right.
Every single one, whether you're walking down the street a certain way, what outfit you should wear, how you speak to certain men. Like a lot of the women that have been sexually assaulted, and a lot of women that are raped within the workplace or at home domestically, have this preconceived notion of how they should act towards other men, because
Right.
rape culture makes it okay for men to say that I am stronger than you, so you must bend to my will.
And that's not okay.
That's not okay at all. You feel me? Nick, my co-host Nick, right next to me is at least pushing what 230,
I'm like 215, 220.
215, 220 pounds, and one of the most nicest kids I've ever met. You feel me? Doesn't ever make his physique. He doesn't ever make his physique feel like he's more powerful than another woman. You feel me? I'm 130 pounds, and I've openly been verbally abusive with some of my partners because of just my physique, my teachings at home have taught me that a man is supposed to be powerful, and because I wasn't physically powerful, I had to be verbally powerful. And that is a part of rape culture, you know? Like, no man is just going up to a woman and forcing her to get undressed. There has to be some type of vernacular behind it.
Right.
You know? There has to be some type of...
Like a reason of why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, no man is just
Everything
going up...
stems from something, you know what I mean? Whether it's just a thought or a feeling or some kind of experience.
What I'm saying is that in the process of rape, a man usually goes up to a woman and is like, take your clothes off right now. You know, there
Right.
has to be some type of forceful grammatical vernacular.
Exactly.
And then after that, if a woman is like, no, I don't want to have sex with you, that's where the force comes in. You feel me? Verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse is very, very, very much part of rape. It can be separated, most definitely, because I've never raped a woman in my life, but I've definitely verbally abused people.
Right.
And
But
I've definitely
you have
verbally
50 to
abused
60
people.
people who know their abuser, but then what about the other 50, 40% who don't? You can get randomly approached on the street. They could grab you and pull you somewhere.
Right.
And that's-
Absolutely.
There's nothing that leads
Absolutely.
up to that. You have no idea that's
Exactly.
coming until you're being grabbed.
And you don't know. Yeah, that's why you can't prejudge. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't walk down the street and you don't know what the fuck he's going through, she's going through. Like you don't know what's about to happen. That guy could grab you up, like she said, take you in a back alley. Like you know what I mean? You don't know what the fuck's about to happen. That's crazy. Like I think that's crazy that like any point at any time, like any random act could
And
happen.
I do too,
you know what
because
I, mean?
I, as a woman, do not feel safe walking around at night. I walk with my keys out. In my
I don't blame you.
house.
I don't blame you.
do you think that it's wrong for women to have a preconceived notion towards men, or do you think because of all of the things that have been going on with like feminism and rape culture that it's almost justified for women to have that kind of like preconceived defense mechanism?
I personally have very few preconceived notions when it comes to anyone, but I do not blame the women who do.
Right.
I don't necessarily
I
Well,
would
look at the
never
way
sit
the-
here
look-
and say that I do because I can't.
yeah.
Generally speaking, right, like alongside with what you just said, generally speaking, look at the way the world is today rather than back in the day. Back in the day, we could leave our front door unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
You could leave it fucking open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But today, you can't do that. You're locking your door. You're not, like, look at, like, moms don't let their kids do certain things. Like, let's talk about that. Like, what are some of the things that was accepted back in the day, but now it's like, no, the world's a crazy place. You can't do that. Like, what are some of the things that comes to your mind when you think of
I
that?
don't know. I was raised in a very strict household. When the streetlights came on, if I was not in my house, yeah, that was it.
Okay. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
One
I
thing
know, but
One thing that I won't really allow that my mom did is that she didn't necessarily allow total strangers around, but like she would let certain people babysit that I didn't know personally, and they never touched me or anything like that. But like it always made me
Like men or women?
both. and it always made me feel like mostly women, just because like my mom, she was just cool with a lot of females because she was a basketball coach. So I would always have like women coming in and out of my life and seeing like random different girls, and that definitely instilled something in me that made me feel some type of way about women later in my teenage years. So what I would like to do with my son is that, like, if I do hire a babysitter for my son, I would like my babysitter to have a rapport with my son before she or he
right,
babysits
like some
my
kind
son.
of relationship outside of just this.
Yeah,
like
I don't want my babysitter to just meet my son the first time she starts babysitting.
Right,
you feel
like
me?
this is your babysitter.
Exactly.
Like, this is so and so. You remember her, and now she's going to babysit you.
Exactly.
I mean, it's also
that makes
hard right
sense.
now because he's so young, but like
Most definitely.
I would also agree with bringing whoever you're going to have as a babysitter over at first
Yeah.
to meet the child.
You don't know who you're gonna. You don't know who you can trust.
Have them over while you're there and see
I can't
how
believe
they
people
act.
post like a Craigslist ad, like I need
yeah.
babysitters.
No.
Like the fuck.
Like,
you can't be doing that in 2018.
That's so
Like you're gonna have some
irresponsible.
random
You
person with your
created
kid.
that life, and
Nah.
you're gonna go ahead, Craigslist.
Fuck that. Nope. No shot.
Yeah,
I can tell. I don't have any kids yet, but when I do, I'm not gonna be posting a Craigslist ad. Fuck that.
You feel me? Like that
You
shit
know
is
what I
just
mean?
kinda
Like-
unsafe because you never know
Nah.
who is fucking trying to like touch your kid or hurt your child or something like
It's
that.
bad enough if one of your close friends, like, you know what I mean, recommend somebody. If you don't know that person, that's hard
Definitely.
enough. But imagine meeting a complete stranger, leaving them with your kid all day. Like, that's not okay.
I would be a nervous wreck.
Where,
I want to know the percentage of how many people have a random person come in, babysit their kid, and then that kid gets raped
that's
because of
fucking
that,
neglect.
right?
That is neglect.
And then how does that make you feel as the parent that you let that random person around your kid because you just, you work a 9 to 5 or you work so many hours and you can't be around, but you have a kid and that is your responsibility, but now you got that random person to babysit your kid and now your kid was just raped.
As much as
Maybe you don't even know they were raped and you don't know all the problems that they're growing up now in their teenage, phase. They're going through a lot of shit. You don't know why they're going through all this shit. You don't know why it's backlashing and you guys are having problems in the household now because they were raped that many years ago and you may not even know it.
I'm glad you said that.
is
That's
a
crazy.
real thing.
You know what I mean?
PTSD is so real when it comes to rape culture.
I bet.
There's a lot of women that I know and a lot of research that goes into it. Like a lot of women suffer from PTSD because of their abuse. And it's sad to say that a lot of parents are in denial about their kids being raped because, for one, it's either they just don't want to even accept the fact that their kid has been touched like that, or the parents are abusive in their own way in the household, or they are just so hocked up on being good parents that they just don't want to accept that like something like that could ever happen.
Facts.
I just wanted to add something real quick. As someone who has experienced these things and as someone who does deal with PTSD, one thing I did find, if anyone is open to the idea of trying out a medicine for nightmares, mini press actually helps a lot. And I used to have trouble sleeping. Like, I'd get maybe 1-2 hours a night before I'd wake back up in a cold sweat because I would see their faces. And the mini press is a blood pressure medication. You could get it from a psychiatrist. You can get it from a normal doctor. You go, and what it does is it lowers your heart rate to enough to keep it at a steady pace all night and keeps you from feeling that panic. And it also takes away a bit from the nightmares.
Do you know what a safe heart rate is off the top of your head? Do you
Resting?
know? Yeah, like a
60-something.
60?
68.
One thing I want to touch on before we switch to the next topic is that
It depends on your weight and your
Right.
height.
No,
and
I
your
just
age.
had a female friend that reached out to me last night actually, and she said that hers was like 43. That's probably not safe, right?
Not safe at all.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend she go see a
Yeah,
doctor.
that's not.
But yeah, one thing I want to touch on before we switch to a different subject is that this shit needs to stop going unnoticed.
Straight up.
Like a lot of men that are in power, a lot of men that are just regular men need to realize that women are not just objects to be.
You're not just a piece of meat.
Exactly.
You're not an object.
And even with women who have sexually assaulted men, like this is definitely a polarized thing. This can go either way.
She's got a mind. She's got a brain. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Stimulate it.
But as far as like the statistics go, we're not going to sit here and ignore it. Women get raped more than men. by volumes and by significant numbers. So my focal point. What?
Men need to calm the fuck down.
Yes, exactly. Our president is a fucking rapist. Our president is a documented sexually assaulting piece of shit. Like there are celebrities that have touched women and gotten away with it just because of their celebrity status. There are men, regular men, who have touched and assaulted young ladies just because of them being men and them going to court and that woman's promiscuity, quote unquote. That is the reason that woman didn't get any justice.
That's what you see a lot in like the sex industry.
Exactly.
I saw a dude get kicked out of a club, like drug out of a club because he grabbed a girl right in
her pussy.
Right in the pussy.
Well, whoever
I was gonna say box instead, but
whoever rightfully removed that man is a fucking hero for real. What were you gonna say, babe?
I did say it.
What?
I don't remember what I said, but I know that I definitely said it.
But honestly, like, this is something that definitely means something to me and definitely means something to the people in this room. And I hope it means something to the audience and to the people who are listening. And I just, like I said before, I want all my female and male listeners to understand that this is something that we are going to fight on. And I think my girlfriend has a closing statement.
I do have a closing statement. As I said, I was raped when I was 12, and when I was 14, I overdosed, died. I didn't think it was going to get better. And years down the line, I'm sitting in this studio right now with the love of my life, his best man. Like, we're having a great time, and it does get better. I know that it's so hard to wake up every day and fight, and I know even if you're in a situation where, especially if you're in a situation where you know who attacked you and you have to live and see them every day, I know how difficult it can be, but I promise you, you can get through it. If I can come back from the grave and tell you that I'm sitting here right now, years down the line, and I'm doing okay, I believe in you. You definitely can get through it.
That's real.
Can we just get a round of applause?
Yeah, no, thank you. That takes a lot. It's not easy, so.
All right, so next topic, I think Shu wanted to talk about this, underground music.
Yeah, let's just talk. I just wanted to talk, generally speaking. Let's talk about. There's a lot of underground artists cooking up and brewing, right now.
JID.
I think people don't understand that there's a whole realm of underground artists that you people are spoon-fed all the mainstream artists. You don't realize that hip-hop is split right down the middle. And you don't understand it. Okay? I always looked at it like this. Like a video game like an old school video game, like Donkey Kong or something, where you got to climb to the top.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's like the mainstream, and then there's a line, and then there's the underground.
Yeah.
That's where you start. But there's also like a mainstream level of the underground, where like people that are big enough,
Joey
like
Badass.
MF Doom, Joey Badass, like people like that. If you're in that realm, you're hot and you're known, but like you might not be like
even
Kendrick status or Beyonce status, or you know what I mean, on those pop charts.
Even A$AP Rocky, to a certain degree, right now is like the biggest king of underground hip hop.
Right, and and then some people would even consider them mainstream. Like they would even say like a Joey Badass is mainstream, right? He might not have a mainstream sound to him, but he's mainstream enough where he's like well known.
Because he tops charts,
right? Because he hits charts. You know what I mean?
He does.
But like, there's people that I could name
charts,
that nobody knows who the fuck they are.
Bro, no one right now knows who JID is. And he's like fucking J. Cole's golden boy right now. If no one knows who JID is, please go look him up.
Yo, JID, first of all,
he's on a
Cole is sitting on a gold mine with him. And second, JID is the future for Southern hip-hop, at least. Yo, he's...
Bro.
Oh my God, he's on some shit.
Yeah, Southern conscious hip hop. Because before,
yeah, bro,
before JID, there was only like Big Crit,
Sci-Hi to Prince,
yeah, Killer Mike.
Who don't you dare get it fucked up. I'm gonna say this right now. I love Big Crit and I love Sci-Hi, but yo, stop sleeping on them. Especially
please.
Like yo, Sci-Hi is the fucking truth, bro.
Yo, his metaphors, his bars, ridiculous.
He's got some of the most quotable lines I fucking have ever heard. People need to stop sleeping on that. But he is on good music. I just don't know why he finally dropped an album. I know I was waiting for years for that. But and it was good. It was well received. But But yeah, people need to realize there's a whole underground out there. Like, Royce and DJ Premier made Prime too.
Yeah.
I don't know if people even know. Like, yeah, DJ Premier and Royce da 5'9", as a collective, they're called Prime. And you know, they put out their second project. That was dope. Always dope. Rock Marciano put out a project. That was dope. Evidence dropped a dope project.
See, I don't
OC
even know
dropped
half
a
of
dope
these dudes.
project. Czarface meets Metalface.
What the
It was
fuck?
basically Czarface and MF Doom. That shit was fucking crazy. And I know you would like it.
Have you ever listened to what the fuck is this kid's name? He made a Bishop Nehru. Bishop Nehru.
Never heard of him.
He was back when I got onto him, he was like 18 years old, and him and MF Doom have a album called Nehruvian Doom.
Okay.
And it's fucking flame.
See, I would definitely like to check that out.
It's so good. I think right now with like underground artists that we have in the game that are still kind of like relevant, like people like Dave East and Don Q are like flawless.
Dave East is a great storyteller. Honestly,
He is.
my Uber driver put me onto him recently. He's actually dope.
He is.
I didn't
His
look
song
into
is
him
that
enough.
shit.
And you know Nas isn't going to sign you if you're whack.
No, Nas
You
would
know what I
never
mean?
sign anyone with no substance. But
I already knew that.
I think Dave East is definitely like.
Shout out to Dave East.
I think he's definitely one of the gatekeepers and one of the heavyweights of underground hip hop and just New York hip hop in general. Like he does a lot of
New York's really backing him. Like he's
bro. He does a lot
love
of
that.
he does a lot of songs with like OG gatekeep like fucking rappers. He's got songs with Beanie Siegel. I think he's got a song with Freeway. He's got a song with Nas. He's got a song with I think he's got a song with Cam. Like he really does put on for like underground Harlem hip hop, bro.
Facts.
He really does. And I don't want to contradict myself because I did say that like A$AP Rocky is like the king of underground hip hop, but A$AP Rocky is more of a contemporary artist more than he's a Harlem artist. You feel me? Like all of A$AP's music comes from different regions.
Yeah, I don't think he's a. Nah, you're right. You're right.
But when's the last time you heard him like spit some shit for
Some
Harlem?
like yeah. No, that's you just nailed it. That's why I couldn't take in and digest his latest album.
What,
and I'm not gonna sit and say it was whack.
It was amazing.
But it was on some different shit. Like I feel like I had to be, and you know I don't do the drug thing, so like I feel like I had to be high to listen to it. You know what I mean? And I just couldn't get down with that. I just couldn't do it. But for all the people that get high, you know, whatever. I'm not condoning it. I'm not sitting here saying to do it, but that project would probably be something that you would definitely receive pretty well.
This nigga's bugging because I listened to that.
I can't listen. You cannot. No, I'm telling you right now. You can't listen to that sober. It's impossible, bro. It's impossible. I tried to listen to it while I was. Well, I was probably damn near high. I was working out. I was working out. You know what I mean? Yeah. My endorphins had me high as shit. You know what I mean? I was on a workout high, right? And I still couldn't. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, but he's dope. I see he was trying to do something different, and that's why I respect A$AP because he's different.
I've always been into A$AP's very alternative, trippy sound. So like,
same.
When I listened to Testing, I wasn't expecting him to really like stray away from it. I was expecting him to like build on it. So when I listened to it, I was like, this is fire. Like he hasn't really lacked in his rhyme scheme. He definitely chose some very avant-garde beats that I could see like why you wouldn't have like connected with him. But like I listened to that album in full for the first time I think like a week ago.
But you know me, I'm very open-minded when it comes to a lot of types of music. You know what I mean?
Maybe it just
different
didn't hit
sounds
for you,
and
bro.
styles. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll go back and listen to it and like it. I don't know. I do like A$AP though. But I know that this project alone, this new project Testing that he just dropped in 2018, is one of the least talked about projects of this year.
It's crazy because
which is upsetting because you know we needed like a good A$AP project.
I think the reason it's like not talked about though is because like other albums came immediately after that. KOD, you know, fucking.
Yeah, we had all the
this
heavy hitters.
This was a great year for music,
it was
bro.
Crazy, bro.
This is a great year
for
rap.
You had Nas, you had J. Cole, you had Kendrick, you had J-Rock put out a great project.
And I think the reason that a lot of all the projects you just mentioned, the reason that they're kind of sought after right now, I guess, is because of Drake.
Right.
Scorpion hit 1 billion fucking streams in a week.
Right.
So what else are we going to talk about? Drake. You know, we're just going to talk about Drake all damn day. But all of these people that you just mentioned have a very big cult fan base that really doesn't give that much of a fuck about Drake more than they give a fuck about.
I want to talk more about these underground artists. Like a lot of people just don't know. Like I'm going to name some artists. You stop me and let me know if you've heard some of these dudes.
I got you.
If you haven't, you ever heard of Immortal Technique?
He's garbage.
Stop yourself right now. You're crazy as shit. You're crazy.
He's fucking garbage.
Immortal Technique is fucking.
Basura.
Crazy.
He's garbage.
You're crazy.
He's garbage.
Jedi Mind Tricks.
Fucking flame. Their whole collective. I think it's Jedi Mind Tricks and like another like other like a bunch of other dudes that like all culminate together. Fucking flame. They are probably some of the best rappers that this fucking genre has ever seen.
Ever seen. I mean, everybody knows who Jay Dilla is.
Jay Dilla is that nigga.
Jay Dilla has left such a mark on hip hop. It's incredible. Like, not only was he one of the best producers, but back when he used to rap and he used to go under JD, I mean, he was that man. Yo, Detroit has one of the best underground hip hop scenes. Like, I would say, like Detroit, Chicago. Right, Danny Brown. Right, Big Sean was once there, but he's not. He's mainstream now. He's not.
I wouldn't even really consider him all the way mainstream.
He's not all the way mainstream. He's not like pop chart mainstream like Beyonce status, but like he's mainstream. Got some platinum. Big Sean. Everybody knows who. Once everybody knows who you are, you're mainstream.
Big Sean's got more than 3 plaques.
At least in my book, I don't give a fuck.
He's got multi-platinum plaques.
Yeah, he does.
I think.
But Detroit has one of the like hungriest and best underground hip hop scenes. And that's I always said that. I think other than New York, I think my favorite underground hip hop scene was Detroit.
That's why I think Big Sean isn't really considered all the way mainstream yet, because he's
Chicago.
He doesn't ever really like he doesn't really water down his lyricism for anyone, you know?
Who?
Like Big Sean.
Big Sean not. Big Sean never compromises.
He never compromises.
And I love that about him.
He makes like very simple songs that are very Big Sean-ish. You feel me? Like he doesn't sound like anyone else.
Nah, he doesn't dumb it down too much.
That's the
only person that really dumbs it down so much to the point where, and it's still not even dumbed down, but you know, you're gonna know exactly what I'm saying. The only person that can on a mainstream level, and you don't even dare say this person's not mainstream, but Chance the Rapper can dumb down songs, and still it will hit so hard. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's not because he's mainstream, though. I think that's just because of how...
That's his style?
Yeah, he...
That's just what he does.
The greatest thing about Chance the Rapper is that
he's like... I think people receive it so well, because he dumbs it down so everybody can digest it. The intellects hear shit in it, but then also the dumb people
That's
can
exactly
still...
what I was about to say.
Exactly, bro.
Chance just casually drops jewels within his songs.
Yeah, he's and like you're just like, the fuck did he just
say?
He's
like a Christian version of Ghostface Killer.
Right.
Like Ghostface will just drop so many jewels on you and you'll never ever catch it unless you
I love Ghostface.
Yes. He says everything without saying anything at all.
Right.
Chance, Ghostface, Earl Sweatshirt.
Like subtly say some crazy shit.
Exactly.
Like,
Chance,
did you really just say it? And did you say it like that too?
Exactly.
Like, excuse me?
Chance, Ghostface, Earl Sweatshirt, and Drake are the kings of dropping subtle jewels.
Yeah, facts.
And what I think it is with Chance, I don't think he purposely dumbs things down. I think that he I won't necessarily dilute it, is that he simplifies things for himself. I don't think he does it for other people. I think that Chance has already proved how smart he is lyrically and politically, so why does he really have to go into a song and be like,
you don't have to go in on every song. That was like a thing when like there was, you know, and I do miss that competitive nature, but you don't. That actually takes that away a little bit.
It does a little.
You know what I mean? Like when you go in, when we just hear rappers going in on every song, we're not as enthused or excited about that anymore. Like we want something different. So mix it up every once in a while, and then when we hear you go in, it'll be exciting. You know what I mean?
I think anyone who does like compromise their lyricism, and me and my girlfriend would agree on this, is J. Cole for KOD.
No.
He compromised the shit out of his skill, bro.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No. Never. J. Cole never compromised. No. Stop it.
You're gonna say
okay. So you must hold him on such a high pedestal way up here that okay. So why do you think? So if you're saying he compromises it, you know that. He's way more valuable than
he's a higher pedestal. He's come out with better shit than
Okay, and what is that better shit? I want to know.
Born Sinner, the warm up, That's all better than KOD lyrically, bro.
No, vibe wise, but Born Sinner is not better than. You're crazy. The message in that.
We're not talking about message. We're talking about technique.
The lyrics,
the very repetitive, both with lyrics, with beats, with everything.
But that's the climate of hip hop we're in. That's the climate of hip hop. So
that's what he should have done differently.
Nas, J. Cole, Kendrick, everybody is. There's some people that are just an anomaly, and they just have like literally just their own sound, and nobody can bite it, nobody can copy it. But like
Bryson Tiller,
for an artist like J. Cole, he literally can adapt to any climate. He's in 2018. Hip-hop's 2018 climate, and I think it was a great project.
That's what's wrong with J.
The
Cole.
Message, the lyrics alone are crazy, but even just his rhyme schemes, they're newer rhyme schemes. They're, you know what I mean? Like I
don't think Cole has really found his solidified sound.
I don't know about that.
Because like as much as I do,
I think he found it. Here's what I think. I think he found it. Exactly, and that is why Cole is everlasting in this genre. He's never going anywhere because he evolves. He keeps evolving. I think his best sound though is the Forest Hills Drive and the For Your Eyes Only style. I think that's his best sound. Other than my favorite J. Cole project of all time, and a lot of people may argue this, but I know a lot of people will support this. Friday Night Lights is not even really like it's not an album, it's a mixtape, but that is his best project.
Why do you think that's going to take him out of the game? We'll get back to that.
Because if he's constantly trying to keep up with everything around him, he's going to lose track of what originally started him off. He's going to lose track of how he originally started.
Nick is not having any of this right now.
No, I'm not fucking with it now because I love Cole and Cole never compromises.
I'm not saying that I don't like the new album. I'm saying it could have been better.
I think lyrically, bro, it could have been so much better. Like if he wanted to convey a message of kids on drugs, I think he should have been a little bit more intellectual. And
no, because you don't. I think so. Something I had to realize. I had to realize a long time ago, and I didn't really understand it for years. But a few years ago, I had to realize that we're in such a dumbed down society that like people actually look at smart people like they're dumb because they literally cannot connect or understand with what the fuck you're saying or where you're coming from. Facebook. So Cole had to dumb it down. I don't think you realize Cole is so much more intellectual than you give him credit for.
That's what makes me mad about his project.
But he can't do it because the thing is, if he did that, if he gave us some straight like super intellectual shit,
conversation last week.
You know what I mean? Like
You think he would fall off if he actually?
I don't think he would. No, Cole's not falling off. But I think again, we don't give him enough credit intellectually. I think that man knows who he is and he knows what he's doing. He's got a plan. He's got a reason why he's. You know what I mean? Like,
go ahead.
I'm not saying he's going to fall off completely. I'm saying he's not going to be able to keep up with himself.
Cole's never going to fall off.
No,
let's be serious.
Cole is
not going to fall off.
I think I know where you're coming from. Like, he's
consistently evolving in the game.
He's going to spend too much time evolving that he's not going to, like, understand that he needs to stop at a certain point or, like, okay, I get what you're saying. I think, to a certain degree with Cole, is that I know he's a phenomenal rapper. I know that he's so much better than what he puts out as projects, and I want to see that. You know, I want to see him fully give his 100% potential into an album. I could give a fuck less if it gets received positively.
Are we talking Cole as a person, period, as a businessman? I'm talking music
Cole as a rapper, bro.
As a rapper.
I'm talking Cole as a rapper. Cole as a rapper is better than so many of these other dudes, but does not show it at all. I wouldn't say he does not show it, but he's too
yes,
comfortable.
Could he come out with some harder shit? Absolutely. But I'm looking at the big picture. I'm just like, if we're talking as a rapper, we could talk about that. But I'm looking at the whole big picture is, you know, Cole's got his own label. He's got JID. He's got other things. Like, it's hard to be the passionate artist you once were when you got all these business things going on. Like, you gotta juggle so much at once. Like, that's where I can understand. But he didn't. I don't think he sacrificed a lot. I don't think he sacrificed a lot. He didn't compromise on this.
I think for him to have purposely sacrificed.
Could he have done better? Absolutely.
I think for him to purposely sacrifice his lyricism is just fucking retarded.
Nah, absolutely.
Because I would never ever like. I understand what kind of like aim he was going for when it came to KOD and why he watered his shit down. But with the kind of artist that I am, I can give a fuck less if you don't understand what kind of message that I'm trying to convey. Because at that point, my album's not for you.
All right, let's let Cole live another day, and let's move on to some other underground artists. Have you heard of LP?
I think so.
LP's dope. Talib Kweli.
I wouldn't even really consider him underground. I would consider him old as fuck.
Stop it.
He's old as shit.
Show respect.
I love Talib Kweli.
Talib Kweli he's that man, bro.
Him, Mos Def, KRS-One,
yeah, Black Star.
Star.
Just Talib Kweli and Mos Def, bro. Black Star alone.
Fire.
One of my favorite hip hop groups of all time.
Fire.
One of my favorite hip hop groups. Or I guess hip hop duo.
You know what I would love to see?
Hip hop duo.
Mos Def, Common, and Talib on one album with an album, and the album is produced by MF Doom and No ID.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
And Alchemist.
I would love that.
And maybe a little bit of A-Rap music.
Don't get me excited like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Or like Joel Santana and fucking
I don't know where you're going with this right now.
I would love to see Joel Santana and G Herbo on a song together.
I haven't heard it. I only heard that one G Herbo shit where you said he invented that flow.
He did invent that flow. He did invent that
flow. G Herbo did not invent. You don't invent flows when you come into the game at 2018. You don't invent a flow like that. A simplified flow like that.
Skirt. Let me put you onto something.
If you're switching up your rhyme schemes and rhyme patterns, you have internal rhymes within those, and you're doing all these different techniques in a couple bars, then you invented a flow. But if you're just doing one consistent flow, you didn't invent that flow. That flow's been around for years. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hear that.
I'm not hearing you, fam. Because for one, let me.
We're not hearing each other.
Let me give you something, bro. G Herbo has been around for about 7 years.
What was that?
Get the fuck out. G Herbo has been around for about 7 years. He got super popping when he was like 15, 16 with the Nicki Minaj song called Chirac.
Because he invented that flow.
Yes, because he invented that flow. The flow that I'm talking about.
Any G Herbo fans out there, I'm not dissing G Herbo. I actually did like this song. I like the joint. Hendo sent me a joint. He sent me a link and he said, check it out. I like him. Like, I actually like the dude. And I don't know how he rhymes on every track, but I did like it. I'm not hating on him. I just don't think he invented that flow. That's all I'm saying.
If he didn't invent that flow, a lot of niggas still bite that flow. Like, the flow that I'm talking about is when he was like, and I'm still up on that 8 block. Late night, me and J Dot. Better think twice for your ride past. Let the 9 blast. Not a Jake's hot. I was about to take a rush, but smoke to me, bro.
Like, that flow is not invented by G Herbo, dog.
But he innovated that flow,
Before
bro.
I knew who G Herbo was, I've flowed like that on my tracks. Let's be serious.
He innovated that. A lot of dudes take that flow now, and he's been using that flow ever since he was. He's been using that flow ever since he was 15 years old. Ever since like Phaseland came out, and a lot of people.
Well, he's guilty until proven innocent. So
I'm telling you, bro. G Herbo, if he didn't invent that flow, he brought that flow back and put some spice on it. You feel me?
That I'll give you. A lot of these artists, they're taking these flows and they're just enhancing them.
Even Bone Thugs and Harmony, the flow that Migos do a lot, like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Bone Thugs, I think, had a major influence on a lot of the flows in the game today.
I definitely think so.
Yeah, no, for real, yeah. You heard of Madlib?
Madlib, man, a little bit. Not a lot.
Eh?
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, you better check up on Madlib. He's dope. How about Murs?
Nope.
That's crazy. Hobson? What do you think? I know you know who Hobson is. What do you think about Hobson?
He's fucking garbage.
Yeah?
Hobson is
Break it down for me.
Hobson is
I'll tell you my thoughts on Hobson.
The worst try-hard rapper I've ever heard in my fucking life. He tries so hard to be the black Eminem.
All right, so there's no denying that he's... All right, finish that statement.
He tries so hard to be the black Eminem and to be, like, conscious and then try and be, like, shock value and then all this other dumb shit. Like, he disses people that don't give a fuck about him. He's literally just trying to walk and suck Eminem's dick. Like... He's just such a try-hard black Eminem.
Whoa! All right, so
fuck Hobson.
That's crazy, bro. Not fuck. There's no denying that he's skilled, right?
Talented rapper.
He's a very talented rapper. He's technically speaking, he's a technical rapper, right? Yeah. But
shit music.
I don't receive his style that well, but I do like his stories. Like, he's very entertaining. He can be very entertaining. Like, if you watch his videos, the the ill mind of Hobson is dope. Like my cousin put me onto that shit years ago. Like he used to send me like, yo, check this out, ill mind of Hobson 1, 2, 3. He's got like I think 8 or 9 of them now.
Ill mind of Hobson 5 is crazy.
No, they're all dope. Like they're dope, but like I don't know. I don't know if I could just listen to Hobson all day, but he's dope. He could. Do I think he could out-rap a lot of people? Absolutely, if we're technically speaking. But his style alone, I can't just vibe to it all day.
Can he sell platinum records? Because I don't know. That's yet to be defined.
I don't know. I mean, I'd look at Hobson like very underground. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I've also seen underground artists go on to sell a lot of records. So who's to say that he will or won't? I'm not a Hobson hater. Like I respect the dude.
I'm a Hobson hater. He can suck my dick.
Have you heard of Blue in Exile?
No.
They're dope. They dropped a project a little bit ago. I haven't heard. I got to check up on them. I haven't heard of them in a while. Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
He was on some of the Gorilla shit.
He's dope, bro.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage.
Yeah, and he's dope because he's got his own style. Like nobody sounds like Del.
Yeah, no one sounds like Del at all.
You heard of Atmosphere?
Nope.
You haven't heard of Atmosphere?
You ever heard of Jared Benton?
Yes, actually.
He can rap his ass off.
Yes.
He can really rap.
Jared's dope. Yeah.
He signed, I think, to Hobson's label. No, he signed to Strange Music with Tech Nine.
He is signed to Strange Music. Tech Nine's crazy, by the way.
He's another fucking rapper I don't like, but I do.
Stop it. Now that is crazy because Tech Nine is too ill, bro.
He's a fucking monster, bro.
He's such a fucking monster.
He's a beast.
Now, you want to talk about someone inventing flows? Yo, Tech Nine invents a flow every day of the fucking week.
Yeah, he does.
Prove me wrong. Yeah, Change my mind. He does.
He does.
Tech Nine's a fucking animal,
I just don't like a lot of his music. You know? The things that I want J. Cole to do...
He did drop a couple good projects.
He did.
If you listen to some of Tech Nine's albums, he's got a couple really good albums.
The things I want J. Cole to do with his music is the things that Tech Nine does with his music, but Tech Nine does it too aggressively. I would love to hear J. Cole spit his lyrical.
You want to see you like J. Cole's harmonics, like the way he harmonizes on a track.
I would love to hear him spit lyrical as Tech Nine, but just keep it as relaxed as he does.
Right.
You know?
I like that. I like where you're going with that. And I think when we were talking about, I don't want to talk about J. Cole again, but when we were talking about J. Cole and he hasn't found his sound, that is his sound. Like the harmonizing the tracks and like he's one of those artists or one of those rappers, I should say, that can rap well, but harmonize and kind of like sing. You know what I mean? Like he does that well. He balances it well.
He definitely does.
One of the greatest. I mean, he's one of the GOATs in my opinion. I mean, he's in my top 5 at least. But one of the greatest underground artists that we've ever seen, and he's going to remain an underground artist because he never had a shot at a full-length career. But Big L is...
Thank you.
He might be one of the greatest underground artists ever.
The greatest.
I mean, he is. Yeah, like, he could be the greatest. Like
the greatest. Big L never wrote a single fucking thing down, people.
He was the illest and dopest freestyler, other than, like... people like Cassidy, Eminem, this motherfucker really like. If you heard like all his old freestyles and shit,
bro, if it wasn't for Big L, internal rhyme schemes wouldn't be a thing. If it wasn't for Big L, double entendres wouldn't be. Well,
I think internal rhyme patterns were made by I think who took that and changed that was Rakim.
Yeah, I will give you that.
Rakim really changed the way people write today.
He did.
You know what I mean? From that old, just like the
hop.
The one syllable rhymes and shit. Like no multi-syllable rhyming.
Thank God
Rakim was like, fuck all that. He was like way too intellectual, and he's like, I can't get down with that.
Stupid.
You know what I mean? So he got with Eric B and he changed the game, and that was crazy.
I'm so happy that part of rap is dead. Like that fucking.
Don't hate on those guys though, because they that's where the culture was started.
Bro, yeah.
You can't say that.
If we're gonna
the way they dress, the way the whole style, the way the music changed, like the way they really they were so innovative because they took something that was already created like jazz, soul, funk, and they put their own twist on it and made birthed the whole genre out of it, and that's what we live off today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Rap was definitely started by niggas and bell bottoms.
The thing that we love was started by these dudes. We can't hate on that.
I just want everybody to know that rap was started in the Bronx by dudes in bell bottoms, my nigga, packing pistols. Dudes in bell bottoms and fedoras.
Yo.
With very tight shirts. If the next nigga that comes up to me and talks about my skinny jeans, I'm going to give them a history lesson on the rap that they listen to. I swear to God, because the shit that they listen to was started by niggas in bell bottoms.
We're moving on.
Fuck.
So, you know who Gangstar is?
Nah, I don't.
Stop yourself. You don't know Gangstar? Dog. Stop.
Sorry, bro. I'm a young nigga, bro. What do you want me to do?
You know who DJ Premier is?
Yeah, I know who DJ Premier is.
Okay, well, you know Guru? You never heard of Guru?
Nope.
You need to go listen to Moment of Truth, bro.
Okay.
I mean, they have a lot of good albums, but that album alone, I think you would really, think you would fuck with that hard.
One of my favorite,
Gangstar, rest in peace to Guru. That...
Excuse me.
What so good.
One of my favorite underground hooks is I think it was by KRS-One. Listen to my 9mm go bang. That's one of my favorite songs, strictly because it was.
And his one-liners like that, his quotables, he's sampled so much today in today's hip hop.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize it. Like they hear you hear it on a hook or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't realize it's KRS, but he's sampled a lot.
That dude is fucking mind-blowing.
He's honestly, I could probably say that KRS is probably the most intellectual person in hip hop. Can I say that? Would somebody argue that?
You can argue it with Kendrick.
He is, right? Yo, he's a preacher, bro. He's a preacher. He goes and preaches at Ivy League schools like Princeton.
No way.
Yes, he preaches. He has classes, bro. He preaches to kids.
We'll give it to him then.
Yeah, that's what he's the most intellectual. Who the fuck else is doing that?
No one.
Other than the fact that some of these rappers like I know Dre started I think Dre runs a college or something or a high school and he owns one in Compton.
What the fuck?
Am I wrong? And then like they have a class on Tupac. You could take a whole class on Tupac.
That's cool.
But who's actually in there preaching to these kids? KRS, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Fifth
you have to
dimensional
respect
shit
that.
Like that. Yeah.
Crazy shit, bro. Mind-blowing shit. Like I watched some of the videos on YouTube and I'm like, what the fuck? You
Yes.
you gotta run that shit back for me. So I
saw one video where he was talking about fourth dimensional and fifth dimensional things and shit like that, and I was mind blown.
Very mind blown.
Very, very intelligent. Something that we're gonna talk about that's not too intelligent is the XXL freshman list. Nick,
you want to talk about that now?
Hit him, Nick.
I don't know that I'm ready to get into that.
Hit him, bro.
I wanted to talk about Action Bronson and. What do you think about Action Bronson?
Action Bronson is a try-hard rapper as well.
Why do you say that?
Because Action Bronson is just you know what? Let me recant that. I don't think he's a try-hard rapper. I think he's actually probably too repetitive. Everything I've ever heard that man say has something to do about his old chef career. Every single fucking thing.
He's different. You know what I mean? He's different. You can give him that. But a lot of people, this is the one thing, a lot of people say that he sounds like Ghostface.
He sounds like
the
Ghostface.
Ghostface used to hate that too because Ghostface said, "I don't know how that whole thing started, so I'm not gonna."
He only sounds like Ghostface vocally, content-wise, technical-wise, lyric-wise. He doesn't sound shit like Ghostface.
Right.
You know,
I think Action Bronson's dope.
Yeah, I think he's.
But I think he could step out of his realm a little bit. I think he's dope.
I think Action Bronson. He gives me the same problem as J. Cole. He doesn't try hard enough. You know, he needs to.
He found that lane.
That's stupid, bro. That's so dumb.
That's just you. I mean, I know a lot of people that love Action. I personally, I like Action a lot. I wouldn't say I love Action, but I like him a lot.
He's not in my top 20.
He's dope.
If he's at my top 20, he's scraping the fucking barrel. Honestly.
You heard of Vinny Paz?
Yeah, I've heard of Vinny Paz at least once or twice. He raps with Jedi Mind Tricks, right?
Right.
Small little Mr. Potato white dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a beast.
He's crazy. Mad Villain,
like MF Doom and somebody else, right?
Yes.
I can't remember who else is part of that, but
Mad Villain is fucking crazy. You heard of Hieroglyphics?
Nope.
They're very dope. Mad Villain, by the way, is Mad Lib and MF Doom.
Is he?
Yeah.
Mad Lib and MF
Mad
Doom?
Lib.
Okay. You ever heard of Lord Finesse?
Of course. You crazy?
Lord Finesse, fucking... Who else? No ID is one of my favorite fucking producers ever in my fucking life, bro.
No IDs, yeah.
The shit that he did for DOA, bro.
Right.
That Jay-Z song, fire. The shit that he does for...
No ID, no, just for all of good music. You know what I mean? Common, Jay, Kanye, that whole...
I would love to see No ID make a trap beat for 2 Chainz. Like, how the fuck would that sound?
For 2 Chainz?
Yeah. 2 Chainz specifically. No one else, just 2 Chainz.
I think it'd be dope because No ID knows how to produce for just about any artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's done a lot of stuff for Vince Staples.
Right.
And Vince Staples is like out of here. I think a lot of people don't give him enough credit for being the artist and being
Vince
the intellectual
Staples?
person that he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely an intellect. I have a lot of respect for Vince.
I have a lot of respect for his music because, like, a lot of people that, like, know Vince Staples' story would expect him to just stick to, like, the grimy Crip Gang Long Beach sound. I got you. And, fucking, a lot of people would, like, just really, like, want him to stick to, like, the first few projects that he came out with, Stolen Youth and shit like that are, like, very, very Crip-inspired and very gang-inspired, but he's gone to, like, a whole different realm where a lot of his music sounds almost EDM-ish and
yes, very
kind of
EDM.
funkadelic.
Yes,
you know,
yep, EDM mixed with like
shit
funk and
that, like, rap was almost based off on because, like,
right.
before rap there was a lot of funky.
It's such a modernized version
music.
of like the original sounds. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's the kind of shit that he grew up on. You know, his mom was listening to a lot of electronic, like, funky jazz. His dad was, like, very into, like, gospel and shit. There's
when you can take what you grew up off and almost bring that pureness and that essence of what it sounded like back when you were a kid, but modernize it to a 2018 version, that is a classic
He's
album.
on the Gorillaz album, bro. He's on the Gorillaz album talking about sky is falling, baby, drop that ass for a crib.
Yeah.
Fire.
What
Fuego.
When did that album come out?
Earlier this year or late last year.
I haven't heard any new Gorillaz music.
Fire.
They're dope.
Fire.
I used to fuck with them.
What
about Earl's Sweatshirt?
Earl's Sweatshirt is literally the best.
He's not talked about a lot. He's definitely underground.
Because he chooses to not be. Earl is, like, really, really prevalent on Twitter still, but, like, I don't think it's necessarily that he's underground. He takes too much time working on his craft.
Yeah.
It's been...
I can't argue with people like that because, look, I always say quality over quantity. Like, I get it. Like, you gotta stay current. You gotta stay consistent in the game. You gotta flood sometimes, but
Earl
fuck all
doesn't need that.
Quality over quantity.
Earl doesn't need that.
Nah, if you're dropping gems every, like, 4 or 5 years or even 3 years, like Kendrick has given us. I mean, he's been a little more consistent lately, but when he first came out, Kendrick was giving us an album every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah,
and the shit was crazy.
Yeah.
So, if you're gonna drop gems every time you come out, I'm with it. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm not really gonna. That's why I can't really base him as an underground artist because Earl Sweatshirt has had the minute he came out, he had Billboard success.
Yeah.
Because of, like, just his whole story with going to Samoa and Odd Future getting super huge, then him coming out and really, really putting a lot of work into a real nice debut album. Like, Doris was an amazing album, bro. He got a lot of.
I haven't listened to it.
He got niggas from Wu-Tang on it. Frank Ocean is on it. Pharrell produced some of it.
If you can get Wu-Tang and then Frank Ocean,
he
like,
got
that's
RZA
crazy.
on it, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
RZA?
I think he got RZA. And
To produce for him or, like,
he got
to rap?
RZA to produce and rap.
Yeah?
And the only thing that RZA is saying is, I'll fuck the freckles off your face, bitch. That's the only thing that RZA is saying.
That's such a RZA line right there.
Yeah, right.
That's such a RZA line.
And it's
he would
just,
definitely say some shit
it's
like that.
Like straight, like authentic RZA, like aggression. I'll fuck the freckles off your face,
Right,
bitch.
right. Yeah,
very, very grimy New York sounding ass. Like, he's like, I'll fuck the freckles off your face, bitch. Like, not even enunciating everything. But Doris,
I feel bad for people like Sean Price, that, like, he died. You know who Sean Price is? He's dope. He was in the underground scene. I think he's from New York, but he didn't really, like, get, like, the exposure he needed until, like, after he died. Kind of thing, you know what I mean?
That's kind of how it was with this one dude that a lot of like new age rappers look up to, Speaker Knockers. He was really, like, super big in, like, ATL and shit, and I think he, like, overdosed or some shit like that, and Speaker Knockers was, like, coming up real fast, like, super fast. He was very, very involved in underground, bouncy Atlanta hip hop, and like I said, bro, he died, and a lot of people, like, kind of took his sound and just like, went with it, you know?
Right.
He's got songs like Erica Kane, Rico Story, shit like that is very prevalent sonically now, still in the rap game as far as, like, ATL shit goes, like
right,
very electronic, super bassy shit like that. And he's even given like Gucci Mane credit. Like a lot of people have stolen Gucci Mane's flow and shit, which is very true, bro. If you look at like Southern hip hop, a lot of niggas have bit the fuck out of Gucci.
And I was never a huge Gucci fan. I have respect for the dude himself as
Gucci
a person.
Is lyrical as fuck, bro. If you really like look.
But no, I don't think he's whack. I don't think he's whack. I'm not saying that at all. I've never been I don't have to be a huge fan of everybody. You know what I mean? Just because I don't look for you doesn't mean I don't respect you or your music. But, yeah.
Yeah, Gucci Mane is that nigga. So is Speaker Knockers.
You heard of Black Milk?
No.
Yo.
Black Milk.
Black Milk is crazy. Probably one of the best producers. Easily. Ninth Wonder.
Ninth Wonder.
I know you better fucking know who Ninth Wonder is.
Ninth Wonder, yeah.
Yo, Ninth Wonder just signed a joint venture, I think, with he's got Rhapsody. You need to go listen to Rhapsody's album, by the way.
Okay,
she's dope. But he's got Rhapsody on a joint venture with Rock Nation right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I would like to see like what Rhapsody's next couple of albums sound like. There's a few female artists out here right now like killing the game, like
Snow
Rhapsody, No Name, what
Snow the Product, No Name Gypsy, yeah.
Snow the Product. Yeah, there's a lot of beast. People don't get it twisted because it's not just about Nicki and Cardi all day. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of females about to come on the scene and fuck shit up. Who?
Iggy Azalea even can really rap her ass off.
Yeah,
Azalea, yes, bro. Iggy Azalea is a fucking beast. That Australian bitch with the fat ass from.
I know who she is. She's on Grand Hustle, right?
Nah,
she signed to
T.I.
T.I.
anymore. She's on Def Jam now.
Okay, but she was signed to T.I. I think T.I. found her.
Yeah,
yeah.
She might be still signed with T.I.
Like a joint venture or some kind of shit.
Yeah. She's a beast. Azalea Banks, even to a certain degree, can really rap her ass off.
Right.
But she just talks too much shit about other female rappers that people just don't really want to listen to her.
Right.
Krayshawn, when she was like at her height of her career, she was a beast. Her little collective with V Nasty and Lil Debbie, them bitches could spit. Lil Debbie is still out making music on in San Francisco in the Bay Area and shit. She's bodying shit. She's a beast.
Lil Debbie,
she's a fucking beast, bro. Lil Debbie,
like Lil Debbie, like the fucking the Tasty Cake Johns.
I think so. I guess. I don't know. She's got like her own like weed and shit. Like she's a beast. I fucks with her.
Huh. You heard of Dead Prez?
No.
They're old school, but they were underground. You never heard the song "Is Bigger Than Hip Hop"?
Yeah.
Hip,
they made that.
Hip.
Okay.
Like that very bass heavy song.
Mm-hmm. There's this one fucking I can't remember the fucking name of this fucking group, but they have this one song called the Manhattan Project, and they're like a bunch of graffiti artists, and they talk about like graffiti culture and they talk about graffiti culture and underground hip hop.
I love graffiti. I love art. Period.
Bro, Typical Cats is what they're called. The Typical Cats, and I think it's like 2 white dudes, 1 black guy.
That's a dope name.
The Typical Cats, right? Yeah,
that's a dope name.
And they had a lot of their shit is just about graffiti culture
because they probably contradict themselves in the you know what I mean? Because they're probably not typical cats,
not, bro. The way they rap,
that's such a dope. I love contradictions like that,
bro. They can rap their.
I think
off.
A bunch of rock bands. I think all the names of their bands are just all contradictions.
Yeah, dude.
Or just something crazy. You know, yeah. They have the best. They come up with the best names for their groups.
Hell yeah,
rock bands. What about all right, well, so I want to talk about something else. So what are your favorite underground hip hop groups of all time? I'm going to tell you right now, if I had to say my favorite,
Black Star.
They would probably Black Star, yeah. The Roots. A Tribe Called Quest.
Tribe.
Like
you're hitting me. You're just man. You're hitting me. Fuck. Anything that MF Doom has done with another artist.
Outkast. Are we considering duos? Because if we are, I mean, we said Black Star, so
yeah, of course.
Outkast is, oh my god,
top 5 right there.
Crazy, yeah.
Top 5 right there.
And Wu-Tang. I mean, you can't leave them out.
I don't really fuck with Wu-Tang like that.
Stop it. For real? You don't fuck with Wu-Tang?
What is
Why?
that? What's the first
album
they
came out with? Many. The 36 Chambers.
36 Chambers is a beautiful album.
Enter the Wu-Tang.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Beautiful album.
Classic.
Anything after that, I just can't fuck with.
Really?
Swear to God.
Wow.
Yeah. I would
Now
rather...
there's... All right, look.
Method
I
Man and Redman,
I still think...
one of the best duos ever.
36 Chambers is their best collective album. I still say. Even though... And when did that come out? 90 or 91? 92? Yeah. It was sometime between 90 and 92. But, I was looking... honestly, though... they had a lot of great solo projects. Like, Ghostface had a very nice run. He had a lot of great solo projects. Raekwon, the chef, had a lot of great solo projects. Meth had great solo projects.
The best rapper in Wu-Tang, he is.
Who?
Meth.
So I always... this is tough, man.
Fucking talk about
this
it.
This is tough. It's
between
tough.
him or RZA, bro.
No. For me, it's between Raekwon and Ghostface, and I'm probably saying Ghostface is the best MC in the group. But Meth he's on such a high pedestal for me as well. It's so hard, bro. It's so hard.
I love Meth.
But I don't know. Ghostface albums are fucking crazy. Crazy.
Bro, fucking...
But Meth had classic shit, too.
Meth did have really, really classic albums. I think...
Raekwon had some classic shit, too.
Yeah, he did.
He had classic albums.
I think one of the most slept-on underground artists right now is probably, like... It's either, like, a tie between Danny Brown, Taylor Bennett, and, Vince Staples. Honestly.
J.I.D.
No.
J.I.D.
No, because he's on the XXL freshman list. So
you're saying slept on?
Slept
like people that don't
on, like niggas
people
are
don't know who the fuck it is.
on these niggas, bro. Niggas know who Danny Brown is. Niggas know who
Jared Benton's dope.
Yeah, he's dope. He's dope. He can rap his ass off. But a lot of the dudes that are signed to Strange Music are just like the only problem I have with them is that they're like try hard lyricists. Like, we don't need you to spit shock value for us to understand that you can rap.
Yeah, but sometimes like the way I came in, the way, you know what I mean, like I wanted to do that too, because like I wanted motherfuckers to know like I'm not to be tested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I'm a white boy coming into predominantly black game, or you know, I might not know a thing or two about hip hop. Like I had that chip on my shoulder. Like I wanted to prove myself. You know what I mean? So like I can side with that story. Like I get it. You know what I'm saying? So, but you don't need to rip every track. You don't need to go in on every track. That's just not what you do. It's very distasteful. People don't like it. People get turned off easily, and you lose a lot of fans that way. So that's not the move. You got to mix it up, man. I always said I wanted to be one of the most versatile artists, and I think with these next couple projects, I think it's gonna fuck people up a lot. Like these next couple projects, I'm coming out with Dream on some. I don't want to give too much away, but like it's a very vibey, very wavy, it's a feel good. Like you're gonna consume it in a different way. People are used to hearing my freestyles where I'm like going in and ripping shit. They're gonna consume this very differently. And then, Hendo, I think you wanted to announce something.
I don't think y'all understand how much work Shu has been putting in with me in the studio. I'm not gonna announce it, but I will say, but before the end of this year, niggas, we will be on the top of y'all niggas' necks.
Right.
That's all that I gotta say. Me and Shu will be on the top of y'all niggas' necks, stomping on him. What size shoe you wear, Nick?
I'm like a 10.5.
I'm a 9.5. My nigga, that's like 20. Our size 20 shoe collectively will be on the top of your neck. I promise.
That's a Shaq foot on your fucking neck.
That's a Shaq foot. That's a Yao Ming foot, my nigga. Y'all niggas will not understand. Y'all.
Nah, for real, like the vibes and the joints that we were just working on earlier and last night. Yo,
fine.
I don't want to say too much, but
we shouldn't.
So, like, shoe fans are gonna be mind blown. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this type of shoe?" Like, I really like this.
The Hendo fans are gonna be.
I'm telling you right now.
Hendo fans are gonna be very surprised because the one thing I will say is that a lot of people have listened to my music and know it and known it to be like very dark and atmospheric, but this one you'll see a happy Hendo. Finally, you'll definitely see a happy Hendo. But let's move on. The XXL freshman list, man.
You can lead this because I don't fucking pay attention to any of these motherfuckers.
I'm not gonna sit here and hold you. I didn't really pay attention to the fucking.
Can we just name who's on it? I don't really want to give them clout. Honestly, I'd rather you not. But if you want, if we need to, I mean, for the people listening, I think it's only right that we give them the names.
I fucks with some of the dudes on there, and I'm only gonna name the dudes I fuck with: Pump, Smoke Perp,
This is Shoe shutting down. I'm going to take a break for about 10 minutes. I'll be back.
Pump, Smoke Perp, JID, and a few other dudes that are on there are like really, really cool with me. I really fucks with Smoke Perp just because I fuck with X so hard. Wi-Fi's Funeral is up there.
Wi-Fi Funeral. Yo, my man's name is Wi-Fi Funeral, dog.
Wi-Fi's Funeral, my nigga.
Wi-Fi's Funeral.
He's a fucking monster, bro.
What is that? No, I'm trying to, like, let's make sense of the name. Like, where do you think of something like that?
I have no idea why the
Wi-Fi's Funeral. Like that, what's he trying to say? Like, he's anti-Wi-Fi? Like, what's that mean?
Anti-internet. You feel me?
Is that what it is?
Ski Master Slump God.
That is kind of dope once you think about it, but when you hear it, you're like, what the fuck? That can really stick in your head.
These are the dudes that I fuck with.
Wi-Fi's Funeral's going places just because his name alone. I'm telling you that right now.
These are the dudes that I fuck with because I know them to have been affiliated with X, and they actually can rap. Ski Mask, phenomenal lyricist. If you really, really go and like look at Ski Mask's discography,
show me a track. That's all. That's all I need.
Ski Mask is fucking fire. Pump is fire because he's the best mumble rapper out right now. Smoke Perp is fire just because, like...
Because of his status, you're saying?
Yeah.
Not skill, technique-wise, nothing.
Lil Pump can rap. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but he's
I think it's his status.
It's more his status
I think it's
his
his fashion, and you know what I mean?
Smoke Perp with his image and everything, like, he's just a very, very wavy dude. JID is the most...
Pump's out here looking like a fucking white Rick James.
Fuck out of here. Let Smoke Perp live. JID is the most...
Not Smoke Perp, I'm saying Pump.
Oh, let that man live, too. JID is the most lyrical dude on the
100%.
Stefflon Don, she's a female rapper. I haven't really listened to her shit like that.
That's a dope name.
Stefflon Don.
Instead of Stefflon Don.
Fire.
That's crazy.
Black Boy JB is the dude who did that Look Alive drawing with Drake. I was talking about that Don, but I'm on the other side.
Right. I mean? Look Alive.
YBN Namir, I fucks with his music, but I know he's actually a bitch in real life. Like this. I'm like on the fence with YB and Namir and his whole collective. But I will say they do have this one dude on in their collective, YBN Corday is a fucking beast, bro.
Yeah.
Like he actually really spits. YBN Corday is a fucking monster.
Prove it. Show me.
I got you.
Show me. I'm not going to sit here and hate on people before I hear them, but once you got about 20 to 30 seconds, maybe not even, like maybe 10, 15 seconds. If I feel as though you're whack, it's going to be hard to get Shu to listen to track number 2. You better bring it. You better come with their best, like,
YBN Corday has
it doesn't have to be the most super duper lyrical, miracle, spiritual shit, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you better come with some shit.
Side note, I hate lyricists like that.
It better be super original, or like, I don't need every rapper to be a technical rapper. I hate that whole thing. Like, everybody always just says like, oh, you lyricists just want like these lyrics to go this way and sound like that. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's not all about that.
Years ago.
It's not, yeah. Back when I was young and we used to rhyme like this, like, I'm not that dude. You know what I mean? I need people to understand. You can be wavy. You can have a different vibe. You could be original. You can really catch my attention on some shit. But just don't. I'm very open minded when it comes to music. Hendo will tell you himself. I am. But like a lot of these dudes that people like are whack. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even know what you would call it.
Suck my dick. Because I love all these little niggas, bro. Trippie Redd is on the fucking XXL freshman list, too. Fucks with him heavy. Trippie Redd is one of the most experienced.
But what you doing if you're on the XXL freshman cover with them? What you doing?
I'm bodying all them niggas.
I'm bodying everybody.
I'm bodying all of them.
Nobody's going to feel comfortable when Shu's on that.
Yo, I'm bodying
I'm going to tell you that right now. When Shu's on the XXL freshman cover, Shu's bodying everybody. I'm stomping y'all out. This is another Shu acronym. Stomp hard on enemies. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it.
Is that a new one you just came up with?
That's my other one. You know what I mean? I gotta stop hating. I gotta preach stop hating on everything and spread love. But sometimes I gotta alter ego, and Shu needs to let people know and remind people he's not to be fucked with. So I gotta stomp hard on enemies.
Right. So what's good?
So what's good, bro?
Not much, man. I'm just sitting back.
We got North on the mic.
Yeah.
He's in the building.
Just falling back today.
What do you think about some of the topics we've been talking about?
I mean, you know, I just
underground artist, the XXL freshman cover. I know you're not checking for that shit no more.
No, when I see the list, I always just say, like, every time it came out, I was just like, evidently, they A&R rep or whoever is not in the streets.
Right, exactly.
That's what I always say. I don't know. A lot of time where they
or are they? I mean, because a lot of kids are soaking this shit up. They're eating it up. This. I wouldn't even call it music. You know what I mean? I hear some of this shit and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it's people way better.
Way better. No, yeah.
Than that list.
You know what it is? They're not the A&Rs aren't looking hard enough.
Yeah,
they find someone that's got some kind of shock value.
Yeah,
they could be like they could be a fashion, like they could have like a lot of fashion, or they could be like. Sometimes they could have the look, or just something, just not have the whole package. But they're like, let's just sign this guy, and
they gotta be getting paid.
Yeah,
you know, like,
or they have money to invest in themselves. You know, there's always something.
One thing I do know about that list is, like, they even contact one of my artists and say they've been having they've been watching them, and this, that, and the third. So he was excited. He hit me up. You sent me the screenshot of the message and all that.
Right.
So it was like a couple messages, and then it went straight to the money.
Yeah. Right.
After that.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying. That's all.
So that's what I was saying.
They look at these people as just money. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Today's climate. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, that's how they put that list together, and that's one of the lists.
You're a dollar sign walking in the building. You walk in one of these record labels. You're a fucking dollar sign. Yeah, that's all you are.
They don't see who going to bite, and most of them people that's on that list, they bit when the people reached out to them and said they want to put them on the list. This is what it's going to cost you.
They got a formula, and they got something that works, and they're smart. They know what they're doing. They're businessmen, but they have a formula that works. They say, all right, you're going to come up. These are the people that are topping the charts. You're going to sound like one of these people. We're going to put you in the studio with a producer. He's going to perfect your sound to sound like that guy, and you're going to put your own twist on it, and you're going to blow up.
The craziest thing about
and that's whack.
The craziest thing about that is,
like that shit.
If you take a list and say, I'm going to make a list, and these are the people that's supposed to be it. But the people that you're supposed to be it, they cut you a check to say that I'm it.
Right.
Now you got people looking at it that don't pay that no mind because they don't know business.
Right.
So now they looking like, this is who I have to sound like.
God bless all these young kids coming in the game and not having like the business type of mindset. Your whole career is done by the time it starts. Like, you're fucked.
Right.
I think.
You know what I mean? Like, you have no control. Like, you don't know anything. My best advice: get yourself a fucking lawyer. You know what I mean? Have an attorney like by your side. No, like reading these contracts with you, and have like a manager and an advisor, like someone to tell you what to do. Because like, I don't need any of that shit. Because like, I can read between the lines. I can I know the game. I know the business side. So I can play that. Nobody's gonna take advantage of me. But like, honestly, like a lot of these kids, you're somebody's money. That's all you are. You're bringing the bag. The second you stop bringing the bag, you hold no value to these people. They cut you.
Reasons that I think that's one of the biggest reasons Lil Skies decided not to go to the XL freshman list, because this is a kid who I really, really respect as a man and really respect as an artist. A lot of people, I guess, would like consider him in that whole genre of mumble rap, but the kid makes really, really solid songs, really, really fire. Lil Skies, and he's from PA.
I don't know a thing about him.
He's from PA.
You said, is that the dude you said is from Pittsburgh? Is he from Pittsburgh?
He's like a little bit past Pittsburgh. Okay. He's from PA.
Does he know that whole camp? Like, does he know
like
Wiz
Red,
and like
Wi-Fi,
and like Mac
Wiz,
Miller and all that from?
He knows all those dudes.
Okay.
But he don't know them from music. He never like made music with them, but he knows them just because of their names and shit.
Oh right, yeah.
But he's made music with like people like Trip, Wi-Fi's Funeral, X, shit like that. Like he's very, very involved in the new generation, and I think that's a big reason why he didn't show up, because he knows that like the XXL freshman list is fucking rigged, and a lot of the people that are on there don't have the same
It's
sound.
so rigged, bro.
It's so fucking.
Nobody
rigged.
gets excited about XXL anymore. Like
I haven't gotten excited about XXL since Lil B has been on it with Kendrick. That's when I knew it wasn't rigged because we have someone like Lil fucking B, the bass god, on the same beat as Kendrick fucking Lamar. That's why I knew it wasn't rigged. And then
we had. I haven't been excited since like I think between like 2010 to 2012 is when it started dying out. Like we had like I remember when we had like
right after Joey Badass got
like
on.
Cuddy and like
the double XL.
Yeah, bro.
I think it went down.
Remember how excited we used to get when we used to see those new faces? Like
but it was the magazine. I think it was the thrill of like the magazines and stuff was still in before internet really started showing.
You think that's one of the reasons that it died?
Yeah, it died down because like they didn't become. That's like with the Source. Like the Source was a very reliable magazine,
and then they started bringing the street into it, and
it was very reliable. Like we loved the Source. Then they had the awards and all of that stuff. But then, like I said,
it was like a Grammy platform almost. Like
for hip hop,
we respected the fuck. Yeah, it was our Grammys.
Yeah, it was our Grammys. Yeah,
and people started throwing chairs and crazy shit and bringing guns, and
we were still cool with it though. Like that was our. That was us.
That almost like brought more shock value to it.
Yeah, it was hip hop,
right?
So it was like that was something that we was immune to. So, but like I said, as far as
you made a good point though, because you said the internet kind of killed this.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Because they went from selling magazines and selling magazines well to all your source of information
strictly on the internet,
coming from the internet. Now,
do you think that's why? Because they lost a bunch of followers, like XXL Freshman Cover. They lost a bunch of followers because nobody's buying up the magazines like their main.
Yeah, so they had to figure out how.
So they had to figure out how to do it. So then they started putting all these other.
People that's going to cut them checks.
These artists, right?
Yeah, they still. If you want to stay in business and your main source of income now has been cut, it's just like you have people
strictly business now. That's why I'm not excited.
Right, you have people that have
culture.
Like let's say like Blockbusters and all of these places like the record stores like
Tower. Blockbuster.
Yeah, like Tower Records and all of these places that was existing and. Tower selling records and CDs well. It was a great business.
When my mom said we're gonna go to Tower Records, we had this place by my crib called the Music Factory. When she said we're gonna go to the Music Factory, I got so excited, and I'm like, who just dropped an album? I'm gonna go buy a new hip hop album. Right. That was the most exciting, rewarding feeling in the world.
But the internet took all of that away. So it's like now I had to take and close all of these stores I have and put something online now.
That's gonna compete with that.
Yeah, because now everybody is online. So now I had to try to make some type of site to drive people to the site, and now it's gonna eliminate all of these stores they had in every city.
And then
if that don't work, they done. So they had to try to find another source of a way to make money to stay in business without. Totally going
I guess if you
business.
have like a big dynasty and you have like a whole organization and you're running making money and then shit goes wrong, like you're going to be willing to do whatever. You got to think of something. You know what I mean? So I don't blame them from a business standpoint.
Yeah, from the business, but like I said, still when you look at it, it's like
it takes the feeling out of it.
Still like Double XL as a magazine to where as though if somebody younger than me,
it's almost like it's TMZ now.
Yeah, but
it really is, bro.
Yeah, but if somebody didn't, but TMZ actually is a reliable source. People don't really realize that. Let's say like if something happens, like
it is, but they exaggerate and hype stuff up a lot.
What they do.
So it could be fake sometimes, like it's exaggerated, but they always have something that actually happened.
And if you notice, like just say like the Wendy Williams and all of these talk shows, if they play a clip of something, it's always a TMZ clip.
Right.
Because that's the credible source when it comes to that world. Because for one, the guy who runs it is a lawyer. So he's going to keep it to where as though I can put this out. Maybe I can, hype it up a little bit, but I have to stop and say allegedly.
Right.
You feel me? Yeah. Like, so right now, as far as TMZ, like they got the credit, and even with celebrities and stuff like that, that's like one of the only sources that a celebrity to actually stop and talk to.
Right.
They be like, yo, this TMZ. They be like, oh, sure, yeah.
Because
they watch them.
You know that shit's gonna be everywhere.
Yeah,
I see TMZ in the street.
Right, and they watch them. And that, celebrities, that's like with everybody else. Everybody watches TMZ.
Right.
So they're like, yo, oh, that's my show. Like, I love you. Like, what's up?
Right.
Okay. I think before we get into the next topic, I just want to shout out my boy Eve that was supposed to be on here. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it just due to some like random inconvenient circumstances, bullshit. But shout out to YK Eve, bro. Y'all go shout out and listen to his mixtape called The Sauce. That shit is hard. He got this one joint called Ketchup. Shit is crazy. Bananas. Nigga said I'm the theme song when they whipping coke. So shout out to YK Eve. But I think the next topic, this is something that's very close.
Can I give a shout out, bro?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, since you was doing that, Lil Nizzy, I wanna give a shout out to Lil Nizzy from Do For Self. Lil Nizzy is a young boy from Philly. He just dropped a project on July 4th. He dropped the project on July 4th, and shortly after that, like the next couple of days, like he was shot in South Philly.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so him and his friend,
yeah,
but Nizzy is no, he's
alright.
He's pretty, he's cool.
Oh, he's good.
You know, but the thing about it is like he's a young guy. He's signed to Do For Self, Tiffy, which is one of Meek Mill right hand. That's his muscle. You know, that's who he signed to. And you know, like Lil Nizzy, he got like great features. Like he got a few celebrity features and stuff like that. And when the album came out, like people don't like to see you win. Like
they don't.
They hate to see you win, and he was in a position to win. He's still. I mean, actually, that has made it better for him. You know, because as soon as the album dropped, and then
people start talking,
he get hit up, and
all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, like because when he got hit up, now you got all these people that were supporting him. You know, now you got Meek Mill posting. Go pull through. You know, that's my go stream is. You know what I'm saying? Now he's getting all the looks.
So he's got co-signs by like some.
Yeah, but the thing about it is the album was already out. So once the album came out, it was good. Everybody know what it was. But now you got all these people on social media posting your picture.
Right.
Posting, get well.
Because of that.
Yeah, get well. Go support. Go stream. Go
it sucks
support
that it has
his
to
album.
come to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
the shit with like 50 Cent and like,
yeah,
like don't get me wrong, like he was like respected in the underground, but like he wasn't that big. But then when he got shot, like it was like next level shit.
Yeah, and I mean that's the way it is. I heard this line. And they said, holy shit, what was this? He said when you get shot, it's like a badge of honor.
Right. It could be the best thing that ever happens to you.
Yeah, they say it's a badge of honor.
But
then he said, imagine how the shooter feels. You know, but it's crazy. I was in a Uber last night and somebody was playing it. I don't even know who it was, but when I heard the line, I was like, that's a great line.
That is crazy.
You know, but yeah, so shout out Lil Nizzy. Go support his album. You know, he is a young guy from Philly trying to make it. And, you know, unfortunately, somebody didn't want him to make it, but he's good. He's pulling through. So make sure y'all go.
That's good.
He's
all right.
Yeah, all outlets.
When you first started telling that story, I was like, damn, we lost it.
No, because it was just like, when I heard that it happened, because the next day when we came to do a show. And one of the guys that was here, he was like, yeah, Nizzy got hit up last night. So I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, at a time when...
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, at a time when somebody started doing good,
we're supposed to celebrate this man right now.
Yeah, like in this city, somebody, and I seen a post, and that's what made me think about it, because I seen a post that said, we live in a city to where as though they'll take your life if you doing good.
God forbid you make it out or make something good of yourself off these streets. We're not going to let you do that.
They try to take your life.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. That's crazy.
That's how it be in so many different
ways. Should be pushing people out, making them successful.
That's crazy.
Because that means you have more people are really retarded. Can I just say something real quick? I just want to say something. Like, you dumb motherfuckers, you don't get it.
Yo, Nick be mad as shit, bro.
Yo, I'll smack the shit out of someone.
I need to get a slap. I need to get a slap sample.
Right. Let me tell you something. If you motherfuckers don't realize, if you're from a city and you know someone or you know someone that knows someone or whatever down the line, right, and someone makes it, that gives you more power.
Dummies.
You're from that city, one. Two, you might have a connection to that guy.
Get tuned in.
You know what I mean? Like, you people don't realize, like, what was the one, I heard a quote, like, motherfuckers will hate on me even if it's helping them, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers will put your name, like run your name through the dirt. That's even if they didn't, it would help them.
It's promotion.
You're fucking yourself.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
It's promotion.
You people don't realize that. We need to, first of all, love is more powerful than hate. Like, if we all come together, we're going to do way bigger things than when you're sitting there plotting and hating on each other.
Yeah, it's this life.
You got to kill that mindset.
Like I said, it was this one time when I had to sit back and I had a conversation with.
Shout out to anybody that hates on me.
Yeah, and
I love you.
It's these artists from South Carolina that was saying that artists from the Carolinas don't support each other, and they was really mad. They was really going in, like a bunch of artists. Like, I'm on Instagram, and I'm looking at then I just had to say something like, yo, like, it's not just. Y'all not the only place where artists don't support each other.
Nah, it's everywhere.
Like, that's one, so.
But it's hard in Philly, bro.
Yeah, it's hard. But the thing about it is where they're from, the people support. Like, the rappers don't. So I'm like, stop worrying about rappers supporting you.
Being the top guy or the best guy,
like, stop worried about the next
top dog. You don't want to let that next guy, you know what I mean, come up.
Right.
Very true.
Don't worry about worry about the people.
You don't want that guy to win before you or whatever. Like, shut the fuck up.
I know a few niggas like that.
Yo,
But then you look at Atlanta.
Who cares about placement, yo? If you make it first, if I make it second, if I make it first, if he makes it third, if she makes it
doesn't matter.
Who gives a fuck, yo?
It doesn't matter.
Come back and get your people, and we're all gonna make it.
Like
you know
North said, bro. Look
don't
at
you
Atlanta,
want to be
bro.
happy? Don't you want to win together?
Atlanta does that. Atlanta is the place where as though one person get on, they give him a feature, he on. They grab their homies, they on.
Yo, Atlanta's really like they're a tight community.
Yeah.
They really work together.
Yeah.
And they have a system down.
Yeah,
and
they got the system down.
They got the system down, and that's why it's working. And that is why
But you know what's crazy?
New York is the mecca of hip hop, and that's why Atlanta's running hip hop now, because they are with the love. Okay?
And
they're not with the hate.
Yeah, even if they have
they're winning.
But even if they have
Love is stronger than hate.
even if they having a problem with each other, we don't know. Because
They
have a formula that's working, and they
sticking themselves.
Right, and they're sticking with that formula.
How long
business is business, and they stick to that.
How long you think Gucci and WAP really had beef for? You feel me? Before it got to the mainstream, probably
for a minute. Yeah,
good.
Forever.
But nah,
that's crazy. That's where we at.
They really got a unity down there.
They really do.
Like New York, motherfuckers are like, I'm winning and that's it. And Philly's the same way.
Yeah,
don't even get me started in Jersey. Like, there's really no outlet to make it in Jersey.
But that's all.
You know what I mean?
That's all the same.
That's where I'm from. I'm from Jersey originally.
That's all the same.
That's why I'm out here in Philly trying to make it happen, because you can't make shit in Jersey. You know what I mean?
It's all the same. And people, they don't realize what they.
I love Jersey.
They don't realize what they doing, but it's just something that's going on, and we can't avoid it. We can't get around it. I hate saying what another city.
You gotta be powerful.
Yeah.
You gotta put your head down and power through it. Like,
but I hate saying what other cities is doing.
I know.
Good. Like,
I know.
It's like,
I'm not letting it distract me though, because that's the shit that will, like,
comparing.
you know what I mean, get me like on some, like.
I hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear.
we gotta shout out another city because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it is what it is. They doing what they're supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do.
We're steady letting these guys win. You know what I mean? We gotta come together. Unless we come together as a collective.
And it's not that we don't want them to win.
That nigga Drake said, "How you let me run it down here? I'm not even from around here."
Right, and that's like, we can't be letting people say shit like that. And like, if you can't,
from a different country, man.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying. If you can't beat them, join them. You know what I mean? Like, if you got a motherfucker that's better at rapping than you in your own city, if he can out-rap you, or you feel like he's going to come out with some wavier shit or some deeper shit, and people's going to rock with him and vibe with him more, like, join him. If you can't beat him, join him.
Please.
Stop trying to create and close your outlet, or stop trying to cut yourself from him, or cut everything off for him.
It is okay for artists to be better than you. It is okay.
I just want to say something. I used to have a showcase. It's about to come back. That's why I'm gonna mention it to y'all.
Fuck yes.
Because I just actually got. It's going to be on Tuesday nights. I used to do a showcase every week, every Tuesday night. It was my showcase, and it was hosted by State Properties, Emilio Sparks.
I love State Property.
And we did it every week for 2 years through rain, snow, sleet, like everything. We was open. And the one thing that I did was, at the showcase, we made everybody sit down. Like, we took, in the club, we put chairs down. I went and brought chairs, and we set the theater style. You come in and get your drink or whatever, come sit down in front of the stage. Because if you notice, when you go to showcases and stuff like that, somebody will be performing. You got a group of people over here, group of people over here, and everybody talking amongst themselves. They're not paying attention to the artist. Right. They're just waiting for their turn to go and perform, or whatever the case may be. They're not that interested.
Right.
So when I sat them down and made them watch the artist, the level of respect that came out of that showcase was crazy, because now you get a chance to sit back and say, damn, like, damn, this artist is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll come off stage and we'll say, yo, he was hot. Yo, clap.
That's real, right there.
Like clap. They'll give him, then they'll come off like, yo, we got to work. I need to get on the remix. Because now they actually listen to the artist.
Right.
They had to give the artist a chance, because now you sit here like you in class. You sitting in front of the stage, you have to
got
pay
like
attention.
a student mentality, and you're listening. Like,
it shouldn't necessarily have to be that way.
But that's what it is.
If it has to come to that, then it has
and that's
to
why it worked. It worked for.
You got to use certain techniques. Yeah. That's how this business is, man.
But it's coming back, y'all. We starting in about a few weeks. It's coming back in August. Every Tuesday night, the information is coming. I'm sure these guys will let everybody know on their end.
Shout out to everybody to just actually for all the people that I didn't have to ask and actually went out and just shared my video. I just dropped a video. My name's this is Shu. I just dropped a video called "Glad I'm the One," and the video is pretty crazy, but it's about me dreaming the whole thing. I thought I was the one. I thought I made it. I'm running for president. I got all these things going on. Everybody respects me, and then I woke up out of a dream, realized I wasn't. I was wrong. I wasn't the one. But I just dropped a video, and shout out to everybody that actually shared it. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that is actually helping Hendo with his views and his shares on Psycho.
Yeah, we just hit over 1,000 yesterday, I think. And right after I hit 1,000, I hit
Congrats,
60
bro.
more. You feel
That's
me?
what's up.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
To everybody that's actually supporting us and making this shit happen and sharing that shit, we love y'all. That's why we do it.
Give them information again. Let them know where to go.
Go find my you can find my Instagram. That's probably where I'm most active. On SHOE856, like a shoe on your foot 856. Go follow me. Go follow Hendo at
Hendo609_ or in your girlfriend's bedroom, bitch. Damn. But nah, I wanna talk about something.
I bet you mad people are running to their girl's room right now. Where's he at,
bro? The way my life is set up, my
crazy.
girlfriend slapped the shit out of me if she heard me say some shit like that.
She'll slap the shit out of you.
Yeah, but I love that bit. But nah, I want to talk about something that's very near and dear to me.
Yo.
Come on, I'm trying to be serious. I'm
about to, you got me over here ready to do a backflip in the chair.
Let me put the Malcolm X back on. Hold on. Let me put the
Malcolm X back on. That was some T.I. shit. When T.I. said, but was you at the odds with her? He cheated and said, but listen, was you at the odds with her? That was so powerful. I was like, yo, if I say that, I get killed.
Word up.
Yeah.
But nah, one more mental health topic before we close. Something about ADHD is I don't know a lot about it. I know a lot of people who have suffered from it, and apparently ADHD is just when you really just can't focus. I don't know what comes into it. After
you lose
that.
mental focusness. I suffer from it myself. So there was like two versions of it. They really they kind of simplified it and made it one. Because it used to be like you either had ADHD or ADD.
Yeah.
Like it was like you had the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder where you were like fucking so hyper. And I think I was diagnosed with that as a kid because I was hyper. I was that wild kid.
Which one is that?
ADHD. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. But you know, people just say ADD. You know what I mean? You could say whatever. You're hyper or you're not. I think that's what it comes down to. But I was. But I think I kind of grew out of that. I'm not really so like hype anymore. I'm more like mellow and calm down. But I definitely have the ADD, and it still kicks in every once in a while. But honestly, I think for me, it was so hard as a kid. You know, being like especially like socially being around people. Psychologically, it fucked me up. The more I learned about it, you know, I felt so different and separated, and I didn't blend in with everyone else. Like I felt so like it made me feel weird, and it probably made me more anxious. It gave me more anxiety, made me more depressed, and probably made me more weird than I actually was just thinking about it and learning, you know, facts about it as a kid because I didn't know what it was. My parents didn't know how to handle it. You know, it was something new. It was a brand new thing. Like people didn't talk about it. So I think like back in like the 90s, it was like this new thing everybody was on. Like, you know, it started popping up. Like you had ADD, you had to go get checked out and get diagnosed. And when I was, like I said, like it kind of fucked me up. Like I didn't want to believe my parents. Like I felt like every time I went in and like I would sit down with the doctor, they would give me like these questionnaires to fill out and shit.
Yeah.
And it made me feel like I was like this fucking like weird social experiment. Like I was a lab rat. Like you're so different, you're weird. Like I didn't know how to take that shit in. It was weird, man. You know what I mean? So socially, it probably made me a little fucking weird. You know, being in a social setting in school around a bunch of other kids and shit. Like, little did I know, probably, you know, 30, 40, 50% of those kids probably had the same thing. You know what I mean? Who knows? There's probably a lot of people out there today that never got diagnosed and they struggle every day with it. But I know I was very hyper. I know that I could not focus. You know, I was always cracking jokes, making... You know, I was never stick to the topic in class. I was always getting kicked out of class, always sent to detention, sent to the principal's office, getting detention, like all kinds of shit. But, you know, I think one of my, thank God, and shout out to, rest in peace, I think his name was, I forget his name. He was my doctor as a kid. But he said, he actually died, so rest in peace. But he said something crazy, and I'll never forget it. And if he never said this, like, maybe my life would be different. Like, I feel like he changed my life. He said that, do you want to have to depend on medicine and rely on it the rest of your life to function? Or do you want to learn to cope without that medicine? You know what I mean? Like, so basically, you know, if he was basically saying, like, if I learned how to wean myself off of the medicine and just stop taking it, I wouldn't be... I could naturally learn how to deal with the situations and maybe not lose my train of thought, maybe not, you know, maybe learn how to focus without it, like maybe use other tools like coffee or something like that, like some kind of caffeine. You know what I mean? Like, I've learned how to not rely on it because the medicine really fucked me up. Like, it had me feeling like a zombie. You know what I mean? I couldn't be around people. Like, I remember after school, I know I said this on one of the episodes before, but I remember after school I would come home. I didn't want to look or talk. I didn't want to look at anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I got genuinely upset if anybody came up to me and said, like, anything. Like, I would get pissed off. I would get, like, aggravated, like, at the snap of a finger. Like, I would have mood swings. Like, it gave me mood swings. Like, people would come up and be like, hey, how was your day? And, like, that was the end of the world. Like, as soon as I heard that, I was in such a bad mood. Like, I wanted to, like, my inner thoughts were like, shut the fuck up, get out of my face, let me go do my own thing. I want to go to my room. Like, I didn't want to hear shit. That's how the medicine made me feel. So I had to learn how to cope without it because I always told my doctor, like, I don't like the way it makes me feel. Yeah. But I experimented on every single, like, I tried Ritalin, and then I went to, like, I tried Strattera, Concerta, Adderall, I mean, I've tried every single one you can think of on the market, besides the ones that probably came out in the last few years, because I stopped, I think. Eventually I got to a point where I just said, fuck it. Like, my parents told me to, like, take it, and I would bag it up. You know what I mean? I would slip it in my mouth, not take it, walk out, put it back in spit it out of my mouth, put it back in my pocket. When I got on the bus, I was putting the shit in my bag, and I was selling the shit. You know what I mean? So I wasn't taking it. I said, fuck that. I'm not taking the shit anymore. I'm going to make money off it, though.
Trap nigga shit for real.
I'm going to make money off it, but I'm not going to take that shit myself. I'm not going to get high on my own supply, but I'm going to sell the shit. But, I just incriminated myself, but that's fine.
Police ain't about to do shit.
But, for real, though, you know, thank God, like, that. I think that doctor, what he said, like, really, like, saved my life. Like, he told me, like, to learn how to cope without it. And ever since,
that's a
like,
very good doctor.
Yeah, like, literally, I don't have to, like, imagine if I took it today. Like, his whole philosophy was, if I took it still to this day, I wouldn't know what a day was like without it. So imagine if one day I was running late and I missed it and didn't take it. I didn't actually go pop that pill and you know, my whole day, maybe I had something very important planned. Maybe I had to get on stage and perform that day. Maybe I had to come up and do this radio show. Maybe, you know, just some everyday shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or whatever. But maybe that would have fucked my whole... Maybe I had one opportunity to change my life and I fucked it up.
Just like, because you were, like, having a fit. Yeah.
But honestly, like, I literally... I can't even tell you. Like, I remember the side effects and I know what it feels like, and I'll never take that shit again. But, like, honestly, I can honestly say I haven't taken medicine since, I want to say, maybe high school, like 9th or 10th grade. Like,
That's
I just
awesome.
said fuck it, I was done.
I stopped taking medicine for my bipolar when I was about, like, 18.
I got sick of being a lab rat. Right.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like,
once I hit puberty and shit, dude, a lot of stuff just kind of biologically started filling
making
itself
sense
in.
And, like,
yeah.
filling in those voids and the
like,
gaps
teen
and
angst is
everything.
really real, you know?
What is it?
Teen angst is really real.
Yeah.
And dealing with a mental illness on top of that will really make the biological, like...
It's so much more enhanced, bro.
Way more enhanced. Puberty, how people perceive you.
Everything is so different. Like, for example, like, what's that show? Where the girl...
13 Reasons Why?
13 Reasons Why. It's just literally, like, high school is like that, and it's like that for a lot of people. Like, people don't realize.
Fucking insulting.
But it's like that for a lot of people. Like, it's that real. Like, people don't realize when you want to make someone laugh one day and you pick on someone, like, that's how it really is. Like, some people live their whole life to try to just get accepted by everyone else. They just want acceptance, and they wake up every day like feeling like they're not accepted, and they could end up committing suicide or even worse, or just doing anything to harm themselves or someone else. Like your actions, like, really play a major factor in their lives and their future and all that shit. So, like, just people need to think about, like, all that. Everybody's dealing with their own battles, you know what I mean? Everybody has their own struggles every day in their head. You never know. Like, if we could wear that shit, we would, but, like, nobody knows. You can't search within somebody just from looking at them. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
ADD is not a fun thing. And then on top of it, like, I think ADD itself made me, you know, I think it made me get anxiety and depression. I think that led me into that, honestly.
Due to not being socially accepted?
Right, it made me socially fucked up. Like, psychologically, it fucked me up. I don't necessarily know if it's hereditary. I could tell you there's been times where I've thought both of my parents may or may not, or should have been diagnosed as kids, but they weren't.
I know for a fact my mom is bipolar. I know for a fact my mom is bipolar because of her mannerisms, how she acts, just certain things that she says, like, throughout the day. She'll say one thing that completely contradicts herself, like, the next hour.
Yeah.
And that's, like, very, very prevalent in having bipolar disorder. So, I can definitely relate with what you're saying. And
my mannerisms match my dad a lot, like a lot of our characteristics.
And it's not just.
But then there's also some things my mom does. So it's like sometimes I get crossed between, like, who is the one, or do they both? They might both. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I have a severe case, but I don't know, man. I think, I think finding out about ADD as soon as I found out I had it, so-called had it,
Yeah.
it led into like deeper shit like anxiety and depression, which fucked me up even worse. So
I definitely agree with that.
but yeah, no, fuck the stigma. You got to talk about it. You got to let it out. I haven't opened up or talked about it for years, or let anybody know. I used to hide it. I used to be ashamed of it, but it feels good to like talk about it. You know what I mean?
It feels good to hear you
really
talk about it.
Feels good to talk about
especially on our show, bro.
Like, it's very therapeutic.
Yeah, most definitely.
I mean, there's probably so many people that have been in my life for years that maybe even hearing this for the first time, like, really? Like, that's crazy. You've been hiding this shit. I hid it well for so many years.
Sometimes you just got to let yourself be liberated, bro.
So.
And I think I have the perfect song to play for us to close. If anybody wants to hear it, it just hit 1,000 views.
Let's get it.
Yeah. This is Psycho by Hendo. Yours truly. About to hit y'all with it. Don't forget to get connected every Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m. abm101.com. Follow Shu on Instagram. Follow Hendo on Instagram. Follow The Connection on Instagram. We are here for
you. Follow our Instagram, _connection_radio show.
Bro, I'm telling you. You
don't want to miss these episodes. I need y'all to get connected.
We really do.
We the plug.
All right, let's get into it. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties, folks. My bad.
We're having some minor technical difficulties.
Give me 1 second.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
All right, let's get it.
We're about to.
So don't say you was my friend when I kill myself and go. Everybody think I'm psycho, a killer just like Michael. Don't wanna kill nobody, but me, I'm suicidal. My head is going loco, I feel so alone. So don't say you was my friend when I kill myself and go. Scars on me, they roll. Decisions open my wrist. I'm doing drugs to numb the pain. Mama hopes that I quit. There's blood inside the tub, I'm about to really soak in the shit. I admit I didn't grow up just like most of the kids. All my friends, they grew up like me. Some have died and it's sad. The saddest things I think of going suicide and my dad. The way I visited so much, you think my body was sick. Every 6 months to a year, another hospital trip. And I'm like, whoa, mama, please don't make me go. Too late, police is at the door. Meanwhile, my girl is on the phone. Hospital beds are way too cold. Will I get better? I don't know. I feel my heart's forever froze. And now I got nowhere to go. Everybody think I'm psycho, a killer just like Michael. Don't wanna kill nobody, but me, I'm suicidal. My head is going loco, I feel so alone. So don't say you was my friend when I kill myself and go. Everybody think I'm psycho, a killer just like Michael. Don't wanna kill nobody, but me, I'm suicidal. My head is going loco, I feel so alone. So don't say you was my friend when I kill myself and go. I'm feeling alone, I'm still in my home. Thinking about putting it still to my dome. But my friends and my family making me stop, cause they know that I'll find me a way to the top. Running with scissors, in love with the scissors. I hope that I die from 100 prescriptions. My fame is chaotic, my mother dismissed it. I still feel the bruise and the punch from my sister. This is a message to ones in my life, though. I know that there's love in your eyes, though. Don't let no one fuck up your pride, though. You're the most beautiful cycle. Right now we're ending a cycle. Used to be close to my noose, but I'm ending it, cutting the ties with my tie roll. If anybody Everybody says you psycho, say you don't know my life, though you couldn't walk a mile in my shoes, look at my soul. One day my head will calm down, the blade will lose its bond. Now I hope that I can make it just to say I made my mom proud.
Was me shamelessly plugging my motherfucking song. I hope that you guys enjoyed
that
it.
shit is so... Yo, congratulations, bro.
Thank you so much. Can we give Hendo a round of applause?
Yeah, let's give Hendo a round of applause. That shit is so real, bro.
Thank you so much, man.
I mean,
hold on. Where the applause effect? Give it to me. But nah, man, I'm just happy to have done this. For real. Like, everything that I've been doing and everything that I've been doing with Shu and the music and the connection and the radio show and I just want to thank everybody who's given me this opportunity and giving me and Nick this opportunity, like North, J. Craig.
Yeah, thank all y'all.
Thank you guys so much. And if there's anyone out there who's suffering from any mental illness, any type of trauma, anything like that, please hit me up. Anyone, make a support system, make a group. Just know that you are not alone, and know that I love you. And if you don't,
you can hit us up 2, 3, 4 in the morning, like that chick did the other day. You can hit us up, and we're gonna help you out. If I'm awake, I will help you out.
We will not deny you. We will not deny you at all. No. I think that's it. You guys have a great day. This has been The Connection. Tune in next week.
Love y'all guys. See you next week.